Thank you. I'm more.
Okay,
Ready?
here we go. Here we talking about. See how many I can get back.
So, can I see how your viewer can they? I don't want them to see me here. Can they see me here?
Right now, the camera's on. I'm gonna look at the camera's on.
Okay.
I'm not gonna move that.
Okay.
Except for that one. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna have my camera on most of the time.
I'll be doing this.
I hope my camera's still
Huh?
on. I hope my camera is still on.
Baby love.
All right, here we go.
Okay, we've got water.
Welcome, folks. You have an early enthusiastic crowd here. Glad to see you all.
Hello?
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hey, Jerry.
Oh.
Yes,
How you doing?
I'm all right. Oh my gosh, the registrations, he's coming in. I'm wondering if I should just send them the link.
Um,
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
We can hear you. It's a little bit loud. So folks, we're going to officially open this site. Well, I guess it's officially opened. This is a time for people to chat, connect, say hello to each other.
Hello. I only see one at a face at a time.
Are you on a cell phone? Go up to the top where it says speaker view and gallery view and click on that and you'll see a lot of them.
I don't.
Okay. Speaker view,
Top right.
Blue light.
view
Hello,
option.
Roger. Hello, everybody. In about 5 minutes, well, looks like 8 minutes, you'll all be put into breakout rooms where you can connect and chat and do that. And then the breakout rooms will end at 3. You'll come back to this room and the gathering will officially commence.
And just so you know, Jerry is speaking Eastern time. And if I talk, it'll be Pacific time. So we'll identify that.
But it's
Just
still
so-
8 minutes from now and a half an hour after that.
Well, you can just move this all the way.
And please know, if you're not on mute now, we can hear you, but that's okay. Because this is a time to say hello, chat.
Hello.
Hi there, we hear you, Jim.
I'm looking to see all of you at the same time.
Did you go to are you on a PC or a Mac?
I'm on a PC.
If you go way up in the top right, you'll see something that says speaker view or gallery view.
Okay, just a minute. Let me look. View options.
Yeah,
Okay, got view. Zoom ratio side-by-side mode.
oh, no, this is something different now. Way up in the top right of the screen, not in the middle. Top right-hand corner, it should say speaker view or gallery view. You don't see it?
No, not yet, no.
Either.
View, I see view options.
No, further to the right of that.
Oh, it's on.
I mean, I'm going to get my son-in-law to help me on this. He
Okay,
knows-
sorry, I can't do any more.
Well, we can see them, they can see us.
Yes, we can see you.
Hi.
And we can hear you too.
That is good.
Hello, Jerry Green, nice to see you. Roger, good to see you.
I was muted. Hi, Elliot. Hi, everybody else. Sarah White, how about that?
Yeah.
Which one of you is Sarah White?
I'm Sarah, and that's my twin, Sierra.
And you are the, you gave birth to the Mankind Project?
No.
Maximize screen. Well, now what do I do? Because
My son did.
all right.
Your son did.
Yeah. He came to the.
Well, you did in some way. You know, you're the grandmothers.
Jim, please
That's
share with
right.
your son that you're looking where it says speaker view on the
Aren't I
top
supposed
right.
to get stuff in here?
They're doing a share. They're sharing the screen right now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's gonna be on the far right of your screen until,
What time does it start? What time does it say on there?
at 11:30, we're moving people into other rooms.
It says 11:30 there,
Okay,
11:26.
so there you go. You're on.
Hey, Mike Boyle, good to see you. Jack Childs, welcome. Good to see you today.
Always good to see you.
Really exciting to see so many people coming in early.
Hi, Elliot. How you doing?
Hey, Jeff, how are you today?
I'm great, man. Good to
You
be here.
down in Florida?
No, not right now. I'm in Missouri. Not in misery, but in Missouri.
I got it.
Missouri is part of Florida, isn't it?
Well, the humor started early today. There's Corey in New York.
Hey guys, hey Elliot, hey Jerry, this is Andy Heller in Tucson.
Hi, Andy.
Hey, I'm actually doing a Boys to Men mentoring thing, but I might join you later or tomorrow. But my father-in-law here, Big Cat, he's gonna tune in, so be nice to him.
Okay, so Andy, is he all set seeing the screen? I was trying to help him earlier.
Yeah, it might be the breakout rooms might be a problem, but if you can get him through there, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'll be automatically transferring people to breakout rooms to socialize and chat for a half hour.
You got it.
Hi, Steve Shower. Great to see you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
You too, Elliot.
Thanks, Steve.
Liam, do you have a question?
No, I just wasn't sure I was getting in properly. I'm okay now. Thank you.
Hi, Bob Berger. Welcome, Bob. Mr. Baldwin, good to see you. Michael Trujillo, glad you made it in.
Portland, Oregon for me.
Hi, Elliot.
Portland, Oregon has a little bit of smoke.
Yeah, more than a little.
I know. I'm going to talk a little bit about that.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can't hear you. Who's speaking? I don't see the.
Jim Donnelly, I can hear you.
Okay, yes. And I think I'm on the screen now too. Is that
You're
right?
Yes, you
all
are.
set.
So am I doing the right thing then?
Yes,
Oh.
nothing to do.
Okay.
So far,
thank you.
Jim, don't mess it up.
Okay.
Hi there, Mark Farmer calling from Great Britain.
Welcome. Good to have you on. We're definitely going to have a good international crowd joining us today.
Yeah.
Very, very excited.
Hello, Corey from Australia.
Well, there we go. We've now covered the whole range. Almost. When South Africa checks in, we've covered most of the country, of the world.
This is Todd Silva from Texas, and Texas is its own country.
Yeah, we've heard that. I'm not going to respond. I'll be polite.
It's Frank and Susan from Canada, so we got that the north end covered.
Mr. Berkeley.
I don't see. Oh, hi, Frank.
Hey, Corey, how you doing?
Hey, Frank, what's up?
Wayne Lee. Hey,
Everything's
Wayne.
up.
Good to see you.
I'm here to see Elliot. I want to see more of Elliot.
Wait a minute. We saw each other last night. Come on.
Hi, Elliot. I'm back for more, Elliot.
I love it. We're going to have a wonderful time.
Sounds like a sickness, Sue. Your name is listed as Sue.
I know. I'm the boy called named Sue.
You're the boy named Sue.
And
All right.
Susan's right beside you. Who are we kidding?
You look like Sue.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Hi, I'm
I
Lisa.
look good. I know
Hey,
that,
Lisa.
Dan. Thanks.
I'm originally from Texas. I did my Women Within in 1997 or 8
Yeah,
with Char.
great.
And
Have you
I'm
recovered
living
from?
Bethesda, Maryland now.
So you've recovered from Texas?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I have. So is this coming from Houston, this thing, or what?
No, this is coming from around the country.
Oh, well, I saw a Houston thing, something, but
There will be a Houston event tomorrow morning. That'll be on the schedule. That's before we start. There's what they call a cafe. And if you haven't all received the schedule, I think it has been sent out.
I have the.
I don't know how to get
I'm Harry from Dallas, Texas.
Welcome from Dallas, Texas. As we've just been told, a separate country. Mr. Brummett, good to see you, sir.
The controls.
Well, since
Elliot.
1945, we're part of the United States until we change our mind.
Well, Texas is its own country. I'm from Texas too.
I'm Dave Mahler from St. Louis, Ferguson, Missouri.
Welcome, Dave.
Hello, David. Bob
Good to be
Berger.
here.
You are muted. No.
Mark Diamond from Houston, Texas.
So guys, very shortly, everyone's going to be moved into breakout rooms so you can have some more of this meet and greet. This is being done by our stellar leader, Richard.
The volume.
Okay, Elliot, are we ready to go to breakout rooms?
Yeah, now can we come back here if we want? Can I come back?
You can.
Okay, fine. So if you want to start setting them up, great. Erwin,
volume could be
you.
turned up.
So Erwin Aloff from Chicago.
All right. So people are being moved to breakout rooms as you all arrive. Virgilio, nice to see you. Welcome. Jerry, you staying in this room? Bob, you staying here?
Yes, Elliot, I'm staying here
Okay, good.
and I'm actually sending links out to all the people that are registering now.
Look who just showed up. I know that woman. You can stay in the main, well, you. Hi, Arlene. The video audio is just coming on.
Hi, Arlene. I've got to go keep sending these links. I'm doing them manually to the 70 people that have registered in the last 2 hours.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that nice? Of course it's nice.
It's unbelievable.
The registration.
Jerry.
Yes.
I haven't updated it in the last 20 minutes, but before that, everybody was added to the list.
Okay.
Oh.
$5.99. Are you gonna let one more in, Richard?
Yeah,
I didn't lock it. It's
Okay.
gonna lock automatically tonight unless you hit 1,000 people. What I'm seeing is that we're gonna have some YouTube issues. It
Yeah.
looks like there's
Yeah.
only an hour and 25 minutes left on that, and then I have to possibly restart it and change the link. So
Okay.
people are gonna need to go back to that
So,
other
Richard,
site. You might want to
so-
mention that at some point.
All right, so I just have to send out for people that registered after I sent the last email. Okay, thank you.
Wow, this is absolutely incredible. I'm just fabulous. Who else? Bob, Jerry, myself. Who's Zoom 100 meeting? Is that you, Richard?
It's me.
That's Richard.
Okay, so it's only the four of us on this site. That's great. I'm just blown away, and the money's going up, and we're going to do some more appeals today.
Richard, are you ready to put the links on for the appeals?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What are
Yeah, the
appeals?
donation links in the chat.
I have all my stuff prepared, yes.
Thank
And
you. Double checking, not doubting you at all.
And Jerry, you have it for my link, right?
No, but I'll have it by the time we need it.
Good. You have all the other ones. I sent you that one.
So let's see, we're gonna, at some point, Charles is gonna,
Get on this one, you.
Yes.
how long is Charles?
He's an hour.
It's gonna be real close.
Well, you know, we can cut him off at 55 minutes if you need to.
But I don't need to, it's just the live stream people are probably gonna get popped, I think.
I don't think anybody, it
Oh,
looks.
no, wait, oh, hold on. No, this looks like the breakout rooms are the ones. Maybe the live stream will go. I don't know. I'll let you guys know before
That's
you'll need
right.
to, for sure.
That's right. We're just in great shape.
Did I send that? 40 minutes ago. Okay, good. And you did the update 20 minutes ago.
We're in good shape, Jerry.
All right. No, I'm just checking with Richard so I know.
Yeah,
who
I hear you.
need to send emails to. Okay, so everybody's got it. So it's only these new ones that are showing up right now.
I think Diane Tilstra and Up. Now, maybe Richard Adams. Richard Adams and Up
Wow, I haven't
are
seen
not
that.
on the listserv. Is my guess.
Okay. So James Scott is not on the listserv yet. Oldham is not on it. I'm glad he's coming in, though.
Okay, so you're still, Bruce is still in the main room. There's Charles. Welcome, Charles. Well, he just left. Did he get moved out?
Throw him in a breakout room.
No.
No, you want him back here.
He can come back.
If he only knows to.
Yeah, just bring him back, please.
Send him a private message.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can force him back.
Who's leadership circle? Can't see them.
I can't send them a private message because I'm not in that room.
Do you have a text message you can send him?
Oh, no. I could send him an
I can't
email.
bring him back. I can't bring him back.
Hey, Michael, good to see you.
But I could possibly. No, I can't. Yeah, he'll come back. I can send a message to everybody.
They'll all come back.
Can you go to? Can you go
I'll
to?
just. I'll just tell. I could go to his room. That's a way to do it. I'll go to
Yep.
his room.
Then you can send him a chat. So Jerry, okay, here we go.
I gotta get on these emails here. I don't have time for this.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Either they'll make it or they won't. Bob, I assume you're in great shape for yours.
Yeah, we are.
Why am I not surprised?
You know,
Okay, here I am in the main room.
we were not wanting to do this, but oh well.
Yeah, I hear you. Charles, welcome. Good to meet you. My name's Elliot Bolin. I'm the elder chair. And Jerry's been raving about you, so he's put you on the spot.
All right, well.
Was that raging or raving?
I'm going to leave that up to the two of you.
There, I'll turn my video on.
Glad to have you with us.
Thanks.
You're welcome. And
I love that beautiful background.
yeah, that looks like a rug to me. So we only have a count for the main room, Jerry, but that people are coming in fast.
And Richard's sending them out fast. Yeah,
yeah,
Charles, if you're welcome to stay here if you want to go on mute and stop your video, whatever
Right.
you want to do.
Yeah, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna put on a sweater. It's gotten cold here, okay?
Yeah, we just wanted to make sure you was in the main room before it got locked out.
Don't leave the Zoom because we're
I
going to be.
won't. I'm just gonna
Okay,
turn
good.
off my video.
Thank you.
Who else do we need in this room? I guess that's it for right now, right, Jerry?
Where's Arlene? Well, she can.
She went off to, yeah, she's not speaking now.
Yeah, good.
Char should be in here. Well, she'll be in bed 12. Bob's here and he'll take care of his team. This thing's working. I can hear Susan in the other room on one of the breakouts. It's kind of neat.
Oh, man.
Virgilio checked in earlier.
Oh, I hear you. I just.
Yeah, no, you could.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
We did it. We just hit 600. I saw that.
Oh, 20 minutes ago.
Mark, welcome. Not hearing you. Bruce is here.
Good. Okay, we're done with that. Now I can go to Elliot's slide. Oh no, it's still coming in.
I'm hearing them. And I'm watching the count over here too.
Well, I don't have to send them the link. That's the
No, no, but I think you have to close it off.
You let me know when.
Well, it just, two more just joined on my end here. 3.
4, 5. Why don't we, you know what? I can wait till.
Wait about 5 minutes, Jerry. So you have time to breathe.
Yeah, I'll wait till, you know what, at 2:55, I can let all of these new ones in. If we're, not even close to 5, if we're close, let's see what the number is at 2:55.
Well, it doesn't matter what the number is. You need to close it out just for your own benefit.
It might be a good idea to turn off that ping on your notifications too.
That is a good idea.
I love that sound. Mr. Siegel, welcome.
And I'm not going to have time to go turn off the registrations while we're doing this live. So just letting you guys know that.
It's whatever it is.
Hey, Richard, can you give me the quick way to turn the ping off?
Turn your volume down a little bit. So we'll hear a soft ping.
There's a switch on the side of it. You have an iPhone?
No, I'm doing it off my Mac.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I gotta go to, yeah, no, on the iPhone, I would know how.
Go to it's your system settings and your notifications.
Yeah. Okay, notifications, let's go. That would be from Firefox. Play sound. No, we don't want the sound. Okay. That should work. And do I need to hit a save button? No. And we'll do it for Chrome too. Hey, Bob, do I need, just tell people to make sure they don't spill it on their computers.
You mean that's how I can get out of this? Oops, I'm gonna have to go to the beach, guys. Sorry, I just spilled water all over my computer.
Have a nice swim.
It's Bob's fault.
You mean you only brought one?
That's
You only
great.
brought one of your computers?
Come on, man. Come on.
He was only allocated one this year.
I have to buy my own race cars.
Our every kid in the Seattle schools is getting a computer this year.
Oh, I don't want to have somebody in a room by themselves. I'm gonna have to move her.
There are a couple
How
of
many,
people-
what's the number now?
I'm estimating at about 150, 170. It's hard to tell because I've got rooms spread
Alright.
out all over the place
Yeah.
with 5 person to a room.
I'll give some of
But
these,
it's really close to 200, I think.
all right, I'll give some of these new people a link then.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 23 times 5.
115. 115. Hmm, 10-minute warning, I just got. So 5 minutes, Jerry will kind of lock it off.
Yep. I'm just going through one after another. Oh, I should copy this link for you. Okay.
I was going to give them all like a 5-minute warning and then
Okay.
by text and then pull them all back into the room.
Text or text the chat.
The chat, in 4 minutes, I'm going to give them a chat that says the room will be closing in 5 minutes.
Okay.
At 2 minutes till, I'm going to give them a shutdown notice that
Good.
the room's shutting down in 2 minutes.
That'll give them enough time to get on.
You guys are seeing you're seeing the all gender gathering of elders pre-gathering meet and greet share,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Good, making sure my stuff's working. It says we're live on Facebook. I have no idea how many people are over there though.
I don't think, I think if they were able to get in here, they probably won't be going over there, but.
Maybe, Jerry. Facebook users tend to stick with it. I approved 10 more this morning.
There was a person over there when I looked. Oh, and a dare in breakout room 13 asked for help. That would have been good to know. This says there is one, but that could be Boyson.
He's going to be different?
I don't know. He could be looking at Anna.
Here's Christina. Don't send her away, please.
I signed out, now I'm signing back in. Can I be heard?
Yep.
Okay. I was in a breakout room and all of a sudden it went mute. I couldn't hear them, they couldn't hear me.
You're back in.
Hi.
I see you, Jim. You froze for a second. So Jerry, they're going to start coming back in 1 minute when he gives them the announcement.
Oh, no.
Hope you're ready.
Oh, no. I got
yes.
some more of these links out.
Well.
So Elliot, should I switch my camera a little more?
What's that?
Should I change my camera a little bit more? It looks like my sign up there is cut off.
Oh, it's perfect. We can see the map of the US. What else is there in the world?
No, my New York Yankees ones.
Yeah, they're in third place, by the way, but I don't want to rub it in.
Yeah, dude, that was rough. Okay.
We're in last place.
Boston, though, aren't we? So
the entire world is this year. Hello, Jim Varnadorf. Welcome. Mexico is officially in the house. You're on mute.
Hi, guys. Hi, Elliot. Hi, Jerry. How's it going? Hi, Bob.
Excellent, excellent. Good to see you, man.
Long
Been too
time no
long.
see. Yeah.
All right, that's it. No more.
Good, excellent. I'll write down my official number in about 3 minutes. Wow, they don't stop, Jerry.
Yes.
All right, Jerry, Bob, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Well, it's about time. Where you been all morning, sir?
I was in a breakout group.
You didn't know to leave. Huh? Good, I'm glad. Bob, you got your team here, or are they registered is the real question?
Oh, yeah, no, yep.
They're all on, good.
Yep.
Perfect.
We had a meeting beforehand and, yeah, we were trying to get a breakout room just set up for ourselves, but somehow I didn't follow through on that and get it done, but,
That's fine.
yeah, we had a great meeting. Everybody's registered. They're all gonna come on and, yeah.
So Richard has given people the 5-minute warning, so you're gonna see people starting to come in now. The numbers are heading up quick. I'm looking at them.
That was great. Thank you. Thank you very much for those breakout rooms.
Yeah, that was. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Jerry. Thanks, everybody.
Can I?
Hi, Mike Boyle.
Hey,
Yeah,
Bob.
hi, Mike Boyle.
Hey, Bob Brummett.
Sophie.
Hello, hello, Don.
Want to come down or you more comfortable here? Okay.
Hi, Wayne. Tom, welcome, man.
Hi.
Put it on speaker view and you get to see who's talking.
Hi, Corey.
Who's saying hi?
Arlene.
Hi. Oh, there's
Hey, Tom.
Rebecca.
Hi, Wayne.
Hey, Jack.
Hello.
Hello, Corey, Irene.
Hi.
And John.
For the next person I know.
Hello, Wayne Lee.
Hello, everyone.
If you would turn off screen sharing, we could see the people in the meeting. Turn off.
Bill Mawiney.
Hi.
Bill Mawiney, hello.
Turn off
Bill.
screen sharing.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Lynn, welcome.
I'm gonna get more
Yeah, start screen sharing while the other person.
Hey,
I love
Lynn.
this.
Hi.
Yeah, we're-
So I'm gonna mute everybody in about 1 minute when we start. You're not locked out. You can unmute yourself when it's your
Hi.
turn to talk. And we're gonna start in 2 minutes.
Hey, Lynn.
And,
2-minute warning.
Questions?
So can we turn
I have a
off
question.
screen share for a minute?
You can see everybody.
I said he's leaving to go to his group.
Jerry Deutsch.
You can make the sheet shared screen small if you resize.
When they sort that out, your screen. Well, here, 165 people, see that?
166, Alan, you
Start
missed
screen
one.
sharing while the other person.
All right. Okay, Elliot. Boss man.
Hello, Gene.
There, Alan.
Hi.
Anybody?
Ah, there we go.
There we go.
There.
Nice, yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Very good.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hi, hello.
Hey, Dave Spofford.
Andy.
All right.
Hello. This guy.
Hey, Wayne Lee, it's Lion Man.
Hi,
Yeah.
Pedro.
Hey, Lion Man.
Hey.
Hi,
Hey,
Cindy.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Hey, yeah.
Good to see everyone.
9 screens. Wow. Good to see you guys.
Hey, Daddy. Hey,
Oh,
Joanne.
there's my sweetheart.
Howdy.
Joey, how are you?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, honey.
Hawaii.
Hey, Dottie.
Hi.
Hi, Alan.
Hey, Steve there.
Texas here.
Yeah, hi.
Wow.
Okay, it's 2 o'clock.
All right.
Here we go. It's all yours, Jerry and
I didn't know
Elliot.
you were a person. Have a lamp on. It's Tina from the Mud Creeks up in the top left. Hi, Tina.
There we go. Good to look through the screen and see all these beautiful faces. We're going to get started in about a minute. If there are any latecomers, we just don't want to close them out. Maybe we'll even give them 2 minutes. So just continue to look Look at the screen, look at the faces, connect with your eyes, the gateways to your souls. Just actually express your appreciation and love for the old friends and new friends.
How many pegs?
And we're going to start in 30 seconds.
Stefan,
Countdown.
Haiku,
Okay,
Miley.
please mute yourself. Everybody, please stay on mute.
I want to talk.
I know
Michael,
you do,
please
Michael,
go on
but
mute.
we'll have to, we will turn you off unless you do it yourself, so please
All
do.
right.
Thank you. Okay, I just want to welcome everyone to this first ever Woman Within MKP Elder Society sponsored virtual all gender gathering of elders. And we can applaud like this, but I'll go over that later. My name is Jerry Deutsch, and I know lots of you, and it's my great privilege and honor to be the chair of this event. I want to thank all of you for the time and effort to attend. It's been said that one of the most important things in life is to show up. And so here we are. This event is absolutely free, and it is not necessary to donate either time or money. But if there is any surplus in your life, please consider making a voluntary contribution. And we will be sharing those links with you later. I also want to give special thanks to those of you that have donated. And you have been very generous, and it is appreciated. My recently departed mother and Holocaust survivor always told me that giving is receiving. And if you wish to receive, give. So if you get value and have the means, please donate to these two wonderful nonprofits whose mission is the betterment of humanity. You'll find the links posted in the chat box through the 3 days. The planning committee has spent hours organizing, planning, promoting this event. It was made possible through the efforts of many, and I'd like to acknowledge a few of these people. Please know this is no way an exclusive list. First, the planning committee, which consisted of Elliot Boland, Christina Smith, Bob Rummett, Dr. Arlene Allen, Lynn Bloom Deutsch, Frank Verkley, and Alan Pabelsic. And also a special shout out to Richard Torres, who's done so much of the technical work and planning for this event, and will be here throughout the weekend. Thank you, Richard, for donating part of your special birthday vacation time to this event. It certainly is above and beyond. I now want to share some of the logistics for this event that will take place over 3 days, 3 hours each day, with pre and post gathering events tomorrow. We will be giving out the links to those events via email, on Facebook, and throughout this gathering. Today's keynote speaker is Charles Eisenstein, and after a short break, he will be followed by presentations by Shar Tosi, founder of Woman Within, and Elliot Boland, chair of the Mankind Project Elder Society. Again, this event is co-sponsored by Woman Within and the MKP Elder Society. So most intros to workshops and meetings like this include logistics. And two of the most common questions that attendees ask are, where are the bathrooms and when can we eat? So fortunately, I hope you have facilities close by. Feel free to use them as needed, and know that we will be taking breaks throughout the event. If you do not have an event program, the link will be shared in the chat, and it's also in your emails and in the Facebook group. I'd like to spend a few minutes to go over Zoom etiquette, as this new way of connecting certainly has its benefits, but it also has its challenges. If you need help using your Zoom, please go to zoom.us and search for your answer to whatever your issue is. I will ask you all to stay on mute throughout the presentations unless you are asked to speak, or if your presenter wants that. I will ask you not to use the chat function during presentations for communicating between friends or for any other purpose other than when you are requested to do so by the presenter. Also, be mindful that your camera will always stay on unless you turn it off. So if you're going to the bathroom or doing other things you don't want other people to see, please turn your camera off. Applause is good, but it doesn't work so well virtually when we're on mute. So please show your appreciation by waving your hands as joyously as possible. Let's practice. Well, most of you are. Come on, come on. Thank you very much. This event is intended to be non-political and non-religious. And these days, it might be hard to stay down the middle about some of the current topics. With that in mind, I asked you to give the civility that you would like from others to others that might have strong opinions that may differ from yours. Be gentle, and thank you, Ed Thornton, who has often reminded me to be kind to myself and to others. With that in mind, I would now like to introduce Bob Rummett and the opening ceremony team. Thank you very much.
Welcome, everybody. It's really great to be here. I'm Bob, and the other people on the team are Scott, Phyllis, Sandy, Mirabai, and Tom. We're all going to do a little brief piece. So, Tom.
So everyone, I invite you to quiet yourself. Allow yourself to fully arrive. Find that posture, both exterior and interior, that allows you to be present, and begin to breathe deeply from and into that place.
And as you take a breath, let it out. You might want to close your eyes. Just be centered in this place right now. And take a deep breath. Take a breath into the gift that you would like to share over the next 3 days. And just breathe into that energy, whatever that gift may be for you. And at your leisure, breathe it out. And we're ready. Take another breath into the gift you would like to receive. Take a deep breath and let that fill you. Just let that energy of the gift you want to receive fill your being, fill your presence. And when you're ready, let that out. Maybe breathe into that one more time. Just feel how you feel. Recognize how you feel around that. And breathe it out. And then take a deep breath. And as you breathe it out, as you breathe it in, let it fill the space inside of you. Just who you are, your being, your presence, and breathe that out into the space around you. And then take another deep breath and breathe it in from everybody else that's on this call, that's participating in this program. Breathe in their energy, their being, their presence, whatever that feels like to you. And breathe that out so we can all share. Breathe into the connection of all of us doing this together and sharing this time, this place, this space. And take a deep breath into that.
Water is the element that will hold the energy of our weekend. Nothing is softer or more flexible than water, yet nothing can resist it. Lao Tzu. Phil, you're muted.
Okay. We are nourished from the very beginning by water. It's within inside of us and it's outside of us. It gives us sustenance when we're thirsty and delight on a hot summer day. It grows the food we eat. We bless and thank all the waters of our world. Aho.
At this time, Scott and I invite you to join us in co-creating a spiritual container by infusing the water that we are holding or have access to around the globe together with intentions for this time we will share.
So we invite you now to say aloud the intentions you wish to call in with this gathering. You can say them aloud where you are, or you can unmute and share them with all of us. We're going to wait a few seconds, maybe longer than a few seconds, for folks to unmute.
Honor my elders.
And Mirabai will begin.
May this be a time of inspiration. Please join in as you're called. May this be a time.
May this be a time of strength.
May this be a time of connection.
May this be a time of unity.
May this be a time of hope.
May this be a time of peace.
May this be a time of healing, of love.
May this be a time of respect.
May this be a time of gratitude.
May this be a time of joy.
A time of empathy.
A time of resonance. A time of ease.
A time of connection.
Of energy.
May this be a time of strength.
May this be a time of coming together.
May this be a time of brotherhood.
Open and willing.
May this be a time
Time
of
of
compassion.
May this be a time of renewal.
Unity.
May this be a time
Of
of joy.
truth.
Time of cleansing.
Time of love.
Time of Father.
Finding our
Time of
infinite connection.
I had it on mute.
Time of generation.
On the edge.
Time of connection.
Time of
Growing.
May this be a
transformation.
time
Learning.
of co-creation.
Time of
Kindness,
love.
compassion,
May this be a time of
joy,
Time of beauty.
be a time
caring.
of racial
It's caring.
Brotherhood and sisterhood. Time of healing.
Understanding.
everybody.
Acceptance.
Time to create community.
Thank you.
Stepping out of our
Love.
silos.
Thank you so much.
Want to pull up a chair?
Scott?
Yes. During this gathering, if you mute yourself now, that would be helpful. During this gathering, to reconnect with your intention,
2 more days,
you can drink.
just from 3 to 6.
Jim, could you mute yourself?
Scott, you're muted now.
Scott, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm working on trying to message Jerry, the co-host. My wife, she wants to join me, but she's not registered.
Scott Larson, please mute.
Just mute, yeah, okay, all right. We'll begin again, all right. During this gathering, to reconnect with your intention, you can drink from this or other water, or bless yourself with water in some way, maybe when you're washing your hands, which we're all doing a little more frequently, or in whatever way calls you in the moment. Brothers and sisters, sisters and brothers, have a wondrous gathering. Aho.
Jerry.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you, team. Very beautiful. Let's all just take a deep breath together right now and let that sink in and be with us for the next 3 days. And I apologize for the creakiness of the old church bench that I'm sitting on right now in my dining room. So perhaps it's occurred to some of you that today's date is a little auspicious. Probably most of us can recall where we were 19 years ago, when the events that affected so many occurred. With deep respect and acknowledgement, I'd like to ask for a moment of silence. And that will be followed by a poem from our warrior brother in the Northwest, Bill Mawini.
The Elder Choice. During my first 50 years, I faced east toward my sunrise beginnings, bleeding from childhood traumas that I allowed to render me less than I wished. And at the height of life, premonitions of death prickled my flesh. Will I leave a legacy? Will I record any accomplishment? I couldn't deny what lies across the circle in the sunset west. If after turning 50, I still faced east, I'd bogged down in childhood wounds, a preoccupation deeply imprisoning men all around me. And some in their 70s still gaze east, shuffling backwards toward their demise. Our culture, addicted to sucking from the fountain of youth, trivializes aging. At 50, my office mates threw me a black balloon party, a sideways, snaky joke about shuffling out the pasture with no further production value. So what is my elder choice? To no longer feed energy into wounds and to turn consciously toward the dusk gathering in the west and walk my autumn years on a firm mission of service. Because I refuse to back into my remaining days, a slave to our dominant culture trance by slapping on wrinkle cream and popping Viagra and hoarding my toys. My inner elder voice remembers why I chose my particular family and entered the world at this time, and I risk fully inhabiting my life when I heed its call. So I'm walking west with unclouded eyes. Seeing is essential to blessing, and I see younger men and women clearly in their struggle to become themselves. And I bless them as they evolve rather than treat them as if they need fixing. I am an elder until I burn to completion, ash scattered to the wind, fully given away. Aho.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. I'd now like to know if Shar Tosi, founder of Woman Within, is here now. And Shar, if you are.
I am here. Can you see me?
There you are, right underneath me on the screen. It's great to see you.
I don't know which screen I'm in at this point, but anyway.
Well, welcome, and it's your turn.
Okay, it's my turn. Well, I want to thank you, Jerry. I want to thank all the planning committee that I know have done a ton of work to make this happen, which was supposed to happen in April, I believe, and yet what a gift that we can have, whatever it is, 224 people together today. So I would like to welcome all of you on behalf of Woman Within International and all the Woman Within regions around the world. We continue to grow and provide a healing place for women to come, and hopefully we can begin weekends again next year. And it's a special honor to have this opportunity. So thank you to the Elder, do you call yourself the Elder Council, the Elder Group for,
Society.
Elder Society, thank you for joining, for asking us to join with you. And it's such a thrill to see so many women and also men that I know through the years on this screen today. So I really bless us all as we come together to celebrate as men and women with this desire to make the world a better place for all. Welcome, and may you each find a special glint of hope and healing during this time together as you honor your light within. So thank you for letting Woman Within be a part of this wonderful gathering. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Shar. And it really is a great collaborative event. And with that, I'd like to introduce Elliot Boland, who is the chair of the Elder Society of the Mankind Project. Elliot, are you here?
I am. Thank you, Jerry. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to recognize the devastation, the fires that are taking place in the western third of this country and beyond. Our sisters and brothers are affected by them, some of them directly, some of them indirectly. It's a very, very difficult time for all of us. So I ask that we sit silently for just a moment, whether it's our prayers, our thoughts, or whatever we can do to send that safety and healing energy to all of them and to all those who were suffering around the world. Thank you, everyone. Normally, as Charles said, we'd be gathering in person for the USA Gathering of Elders, known to many of you as Usage. As you're all aware, this is a unique year in many, many ways. Therefore, we had to do things differently. And I'm so pleased to welcome all of you to the first ever all-gender virtual gathering of elders. How exciting. Co-sponsored by Women Within and MKP Elder Society. I was going to say it was amazing. We had almost 600 people. We now have had 611 people registered. Shocking. It's the largest ever USA registered event in the history of MKP. And to have the men and women and our friends from all over the world is just, to me, unbelievably exciting. And, you know, Jerry already mentioned the team, but I'd be remiss if I did not recognize Jerry and the job he and his team has done as chair. This was an amazing experience. When we began, we had no idea. We just didn't know what it would be. But here we are, September 11th, beginning a 3-day event with over 600 people, 223 online right now, an amazing schedule ahead of us. And my thanks and my love to every one of you who helped make this happen, and to all of you for joining us today and for the weekend. So let's sit back and zoom our way through the events. Jerry?
Yes, thank you very much, Elliot. And we're going to take a little break now, and we'll reconvene in 15 minutes. And Charles Eisenstein will be our keynote speaker for today. Thank you.
Does that mean we can unmute and talk if we want to?
Yes, but good luck
Yes,
with that.
you can.
Good luck.
Torrance will not mute you until for 20 minutes. Torrance will not mute you.
All right.
I'm not sure how to find who the speaker is, the picture of the speaker.
If you go
Try
to the
speaker view.
Yeah, the top right corner of your screen where it says speaker view, if you switch to gallery view, the person speaking will come up with their whole face covering the screen.
No, gallery view is everybody.
Everybody.
Right. Speaker view
Clicking
is
the
just one
speaker
person.
view is them. I'm going to spotlight Charles though.
What I find is that if you're on gallery view, everybody who's speaking tends to be on the first page. So the main thing there is just to be on page one.
That's right.
Usually.
But I'm on an iPad and I don't see that one.
I am.
What was your question, Diane?
I'm on iPad and I
Okay.
don't,
Yeah.
Diane, at the top of the page, there should
Yeah.
be like 3 little dots in the top right corner. You should be able to
Correct.
click that, and it might say speaker view, or on an iPad, it might be on the left. Let me look on mine. Hold on.
iPad, it's on the left bottom.
There you go. Left bottom.
Lucille Ball is who she
Oh,
is.
that's, yeah. Hey, Todd, how you doing there?
really?
Why don't I have it?
Let's see.
Oh, Lucy
Well,
has joined us.
I have gallery view, but I don't have anybody.
So Chartosi, Erwin Aloff would like to say thank you for taking such good care of Rich.
She's on a break.
On my iPhone, if I scroll to the right, then I get a gallery view. Otherwise, I can't get the gallery view. So just scrolling the pictures seems to bring it up.
I don't know why I don't have it.
Well,
Can I just jump in? Maybe being down the south in Australia, we're a little bit slower than you people, but I still don't know what to do to register for the workshops.
You don't have to, as long as you have the Zoom numbers, you just attend the workshops. Jerry will show a schedule later. There'll be, for each of the afternoon workshops, there'll be 2 different Zoom numbers. And you'll pick the one that you want to go to and just click on that Zoom and you'll be in.
Okay,
That
thank you.
help, Colin?
Yeah,
And
thank you,
welcome,
Brian.
great to have you here from Australia.
Yeah, lovely to see you all.
Thank you. It's, what, about midnight there?
No, it's 5:30 in the morning. So
Oh,
if you see
it's
me
tomorrow
drinking,
morning. Oh, that's right. I forgot.
if you see me drinking a cup of tea, excuse my bad manners, but it's just getting away.
Roger, you're looking awful serious. Welcome,
That's
Colin.
better.
Thank you.
Hey, Colin, if you go to the chat window, there's somebody put a program links, a link to the program in the chat window.
Thanks, Marshall. Great point. Lucy has joined us. People see her picture on Cindy Christensen's. Lynn, is it about 4 in the morning there for you? I know,
No, it's 9.
I know, but you have your coffee ready. Who's that gorgeous lady beside you?
Oh, that's our new housemate.
That's great. I'm
Nice
just-
job.
Marcia Stone, this is Joanne Mahler, just wanting to say hello.
Welcome.
Hey, Joanne, great to see you here.
Yeah.
Hi, Joanne. Glad you and Dave made it.
And I'm looking at a different Joanne, and I don't see Chris with her, but good to see you.
No, we won't mute it. Oh, we were. I am muted.
So folks, here's the program for today.
Real?
Hey, Joanne. Hey, I saw you when I was scrolling through the top of them. Glad to see you're feeling well enough to attend.
Well, I'm still out flat here, but I can manage this.
Are you zoned out?
Not really. It's just tiring.
Good, good. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Good to see you, Alan. Chewing your lunch.
Chocolate chips.
Ah, man after my own heart. What kind, Alan?
I don't know. Probably hers. I don't know what kind.
You Trader Joe's.
Chocolate chips, you know.
Trader Joe's, the best ones.
Whatever Gene bought.
Yeah, there you go.
Hi, Kathy.
Kentucky Special. I'll figure it out. I don't even have to
That was
think.
my, Kathy, that was Dave.
Kathy, that was me.
I heard his voice. Hi, Dave.
And hi, Alan. Good to see
Hey.
you.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Francis.
Good to see everyone.
Good morning,
Yeah,
and
Frank, I saw
where's your
Frank there,
husband hiding?
Berkeley. I know he's around somewhere. I was scrolling.
I know.
He's checked in earlier.
Hey, Manfred.
Good to see you,
Hello,
Dave.
Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy Howard.
Yeah, no, yeah, you can be there. Yeah.
Hey, Marshall.
To see you.
Hey, well.
Hey, Bill Mulhenny, good to see you.
Good to see you, Marshall.
Thank you
Good
for
to
your
see you.
phone.
Good Darshan. Good to see you, good Darshan.
Hey, Marcia, it's good to see you. I haven't seen you in such a long time.
Hi, Lynn.
Hi, Dave.
Good to see you.
Hey, Lynn.
Almost like last.
Hi.
Hey, John McElroy. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to see you, Dave. And
Frank
Joanne
Franklin.
and Lynn.
Hi,
And
John.
Don.
Hi, John. I gotta say how pleased I am to see, I've counted at least 8 people from St. Louis or the St. Louis area.
Yay, we're
Thank
here.
you, guys.
Hi, Don.
Yeah.
Hi,
9
Dottie.
Yeah.
He's the one.
Thank you for putting that out there and reminding us.
Yeah, Don, I didn't even know, I knew nothing about it, Don, until you sent me
Neither
that.
did I.
Yeah, I was glad to see you make it, Dave. I wasn't sure you got on.
Yeah. Made it.
Good deal.
Hey, Alan Podbelski.
Hi, Dottie.
Do you remember the first elder gathering in 1995?
Right.
There's Jack Childs.
And
He's looking good. Jack Giles. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Mark Landau.
You're gonna be
What?
mentioned when I talk
Hey,
about the elder
Bill.
history.
Bill, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. You read the poem.
Yes.
What a lovely poem. Who was the author?
Thank you very much. Yes, I am. Yeah, that's my poem. Yeah.
I'd love a
Who
copy.
write it?
I've read that for years. As a note.
Yep. Yes, you
Hello, Bobby Oster.
Bill, did you write the
How are you,
poem?
Jim Boswell?
Doing well.
You did?
Good. Good to hear.
Would
Bill
you
has
be able
written-
to post it to the group?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Jim, Jim.
There's Noel. Frank, I see you back there. Hello, Noel. On your couch.
What are you doing?
Hello, Alan. Said that, I don't know.
Who
Say your
said
name when
Mark
you speak.
Landau?
There is somebody
Bob.
walking around
Bob
with,
Palisodi.
Oh, Tom?
Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
Our poetry group is well represented here.
Rick A. Sklar, we're in your
Hello,
pocket.
Joseph Cohen, back way out there in Maui. Good to see you.
How are you,
Not
Paul
that we've
Demeritt?
ever met, but you're it was about what, 9 in the morning there, 10 in the morning?
Well, there's Simon Hinckley.
Wow.
Hey, Simon
Ahoy.
Hinckley from England. Hey.
there.
so we have Europe, Mexico, Canada, Australia, I think New Zealand.
Wow.
Was South Africa here? Did I miss that? Not yet.
It's great to see you.
Scott Larson, did you get your question answered ever? Weren't you the one that asked about your wife coming in?
Yeah,
Yeah, I sent him a note.
she's having technical difficulties, so
Okay.
I'll deal with it later.
Hey, Paul Demeritt.
Hey, Simon, who's this beautiful woman with you?
Hey, Noel. Good to see you, man. Way up there in Canada.
You could rename yourself and
Do
put
you have
her
an
name
extra
in
room
there.
for me to come up there?
This is nothing to do with track 26.
You could rename yourself and have her name in there in your screen.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Richard up in Massachusetts,
Well.
and I'm gonna say hello to my friend down in Mexico. Hola, Gabriel.
Hola. Hola a todos.
¿Qué tal, Gaby?
¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien. Hola.
I'm Latina.
So nice to see everybody.
¿Dónde estás?
Welcome, Gabriela.
Oh, yeah, she's
Hello.
Joanne Mahler, look at the chat. Look at your chat. Look at my chat.
Gabriella, nice to see you.
All right, I'm gonna look at it.
Nice to see
Hello,
you.
John D. I didn't see you.
Hey, Elliot. Hi there.
Welcome.
I heard them say that we
All the
couldn't
way
use
down.
the chat.
Gary Diamond from Evanston.
Uh,
Wait, hey, I'm a computer illiterate. So good to see a few of us here. I
Good
knew
to
the
hear
number
about
got
somebody
numbered
from
up
Evanston.
2001.
Only air between 5.
Dave Davenport, good to see you. Welcome.
Hey, Jerry
Oh,
Green.
it's lovely to see all you people.
John,
Elian,
We staff together in Racine, Joanne. I'm looking. Where are you on the screen? Yes. Where are you?
Ari Drugas,
It's
Green
a
Ari
bit
number
different.
Drugas,
I see
Tom Paliasotti, welcome.
Roger.
What screen are you on? I'm on the very top of my screen. I have a red
Roger, don't
t-shirt.
hit.
Everybody's on the top of their own screen. And that's not ego speaking. That's just how it's set up.
Hi, Gene.
Anyway,
I'm
Mary,
glad to see you here.
staffing in Racine seemed like a long time ago.
Kathy's on page 200.
Amazing.
I know. Well, I only came in
Hey, David.
2017.
Hey, Elliot. How you doing?
I don't think you take the boogie boards, do you?
You should look like.
Mary, I keep
Really?
thinking that I should start
I don't
making
think so.
medicine bags again, and I just wonder, when are we ever gonna
Hey,
have
Rebecca?
we're gonna need them. Oh, I know, I cherish your medicine bag. Oh, thank you.
Hello.
Did they already start?
Yeah, of course.
Can we see her?
Good morning, Pat Fitzsimmons.
Swimming or-
Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, after.
Hi.
Have fun. You can pull in.
Joanne,
Wait, you got your door open.
you're on screen one
Oh, really?
on my computer.
Oh,
Oh, there you are. I see you now. Oh, I got my hair.
I'm gonna start
My
early
hair's
enough.
pulled back. There we go.
there
you like it? Yeah.
Amazing.
Women all know each other. We haven't seen any of your.
Hello, David Thompson, Mountain Dog.
Hello, Jim Carrey.
You wanted to go in your convertible and go to your cat.
Yeah, they can come
Many
see my cat
pages.
later.
I heard a very little bitty young elder there for a minute.
Air keys or something, not to lose it.
Young elders are welcome. Very
Yep,
young
how's
elders
that?
are welcome.
Yeah, I heard one.
Hi, Darwin.
All right, I left food cooking, so I gotta get that.
Okay, are you coming back?
I don't know. He's probably, I don't know.
Hello, Marshall.
Yeah, call me. But I forgot to turn the stove off.
Oops.
We should say hello, Dolly.
But you could lead the singing, Alan.
Brock, hi, Brock.
So is anybody here that went to the World Elder Gathering in Louisville a number of years ago?
Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, that was really, really fun. Dave and I went to that with a couple of other people from St. Louis. We carpooled and we have fond memories of that gathering. That was really, really fun.
That was a really great event.
And I played Julius Caesar on a trolley with blood.
Yeah. Yeah, I was chaired that meeting and Simon was on the committee.
Well, that was the 25-25. That was part of it.
That was
Yeah,
in your
it was,
hometown,
and it was
there,
just
Alan.
fantastic. My first big
God,
major
Frank, I haven't
experience
seen
with
you in
NKP.
a long time. Probably in, were you out in Oregon when we had that usage out there?
Yeah, I was.
Probably the last time I saw you live.
I was at all of them.
Yeah, that was the last time I saw you. I think that's the last one I went to. Was out there.
We had 208 men at that meeting,
How many?
roughly 208.
Uh-huh. I have a lot of pictures from that one.
That Grandma Aggie there.
Yes.
Hey, Alan, we have to stop meeting like this.
I know, Steve. Good to see you again. He was on a call yesterday with the Elder Connections.
Hey, Jeff Bates, I got your phone call and I gave money right away as soon as I got the phone call.
Yeah, there it is. Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
John
Hi,
Hernandez.
Frank. Hi, Frank.
What?
Sue? Where is Susan?
Who
She's
said that?
Me,
Come here.
Dave Mahler.
Oh, there she is.
there. She
Called
is.
me.
Hi,
He
Sue.
called
You
me
send
and-
money, Dave. You didn't send it to me. I don't know what you're talking, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Half for St. Louis and half for the international, or for USA, I guess.
Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah, when you were calling about money, I guess,
Oh, there.
about membership.
Never called me back.
No, I didn't. I'm calling you now. I thought I'd wait till now to call you back.
Well, good. Yeah. It's been a while.
Hello, Gene.
Message. He meant to you.
Yeah, I played golf that, you beat me by what? 2 strokes, 1 stroke?
Yeah.
No, 20 strokes.
Oh, no, bullshit. I cheat better than that.
See if you see his name. come
Well, there's Bob Berger up there in Iowa. Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Dave Mahler down here.
You doing all right, Bob?
Yep. Recovering from back surgery and on the road to recovery.
I was reading your piece on Facebook today.
What part of Iowa, Bob?
Sioux City.
Oh, I'm from the other side, Cedar Falls.
Oh, yeah, been there.
Our son just rode up through there on his way to Sioux Falls to pick up a motor to trade his Harley in for an Indian up there in Sioux Falls. So he rode
Yep.
right through town there.
Right on the way, right on I-29.
I know. We were up through there, what, last year, honey?
on.
Yeah, I guess so. We went up to the Black Hills.
Oh, was it
You
a
wonder
couple
if
years
we'll all
ago
be-
we were out in Calgary?
Be great if it rolled in one great big circle.
Uh-oh, somebody's ringing.
Thank you for your note, Roger.
Uh-oh, what happened?
We've been
Hi,
taking
Jeff.
over.
Oh, sure. Keynote up next.
Time to mute, folks, please.
Thank you all for muting. A number of years ago, my family moved to North Carolina. And when I moved there, one of the first things I did was find an MKPI group. And in that I group, I met a man by the name of Frank Phoenix. He was just an incredible, giving man. And one day he was coming up to New York and he told me about somebody he invited to speak at the event to young people. And that person was Charles Eisenstein. He told me about an incredible book, The More Beautiful World Our Heart Knows Is Possible. And I thought to myself, what kind of a title of a book is that? Well, it's a pretty incredible book, and I really would invite those of you that haven't read it or any of Charles Eisenstein's many books to do that, as well as check out his website, charleseisenstein.org. He's an American speaker and an author, and really a person committed to the evolution of human beings on this planet, and for this planet to actually be a most beautiful place that our hearts know is possible. Charles, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here and listening to your flattering words. So.
I've so enjoyed getting to know you over the last month or two since this conference was planned, and really appreciate you accepting and gifting us with your presence today. So I'd like to ask you, what is it about elders that, well, let's back up a little bit. One of the questions is, what is an elder? And people have lots of different definitions. I've heard some people say, well, elders never say that they're elders, they're recognized to be that. And then other people say, well, when you declare something and you speak it into being, then you create the future that you want to see. So I just want to throw it to you a little bit about just what is an elder?
Yeah. Well, so keeping in mind that you're asking an extremely young person that question, actually, I don't know, I'm 52, so, but probably younger than the majority of you people. I'm not sure if it's the best way to think of somebody either is or is not an elder, but that an elder is a function that exists in relationship to a community. So you could, a given person could be occupying or enacting that function or not at different times. But so regardless, the way that I understand an elder is somebody who knows that he or she is going to die. You may think that everybody knows that, but in fact, our whole society is built around denying that truth, that we're all going to die. And I think in any society, there's a certain quality of youth, a belief in your own immortality, a belief that your youth will be perpetual, that obscures this basic fact that we're all going to die. But as we go through life, the intellectual knowledge that you're going to die gets deepened through watching your loved ones die, through seeing your friends die, through experiencing the body's decline or progress toward death. So death becomes no longer theoretical, especially when you see your parents die. That these beings that have pretty much always been there. I mean, from the day of your birth, this constant presence and this suggestion of permanence disappears. And so that's maybe one of the series of initiations into true elderhood. And I think Stephen Jenkinson says something about this. He wrote a book called Come of Age about elderhood, and his thematic question of the book is, why do we have so many old people and so few elders in our society? And he basically does attribute it to the denial of death and the worship of youth that one of you people mentioned already in the introductions. This worship of youth, this attempt to seemingly to preserve youth into old age, to deny aging, or to stuff it into some corner of the mind or into some corner of society, to warehouse old people in nursing homes, for example. But it's not just that. Like some people, well, I don't know. I'm not sure how long I should go on and on and on to this initial question. Maybe I'll pause there and.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So you mentioned death, and something that we both have in common is that both of our mothers have died recently. And that's been a great learning for me. And I'm wondering if you could speak a little bit about how that's impacted you and some of the learning from that.
Yeah. One thing that I really came to understand, we speak of death as an initiation, actually, which pretty much I think every culture that understands that the self is not limited to just this separate individual, that it comes into existence with birth and is annihilated with death. But any culture that has a broader understanding of the self will also understand death as an initiation into some next state. And that became much more real for me when I witnessed my mother's final weeks and months and days, and her death process, where it was clear that she was going through some kind of mighty struggle, and that this alchemical process, this struggle, yielded, I would call it an elixir or a distillate that then, after her death, poured out into the world, and that nourishes me right now. Because in those moments, all of the pretenses that are based on the delusion of permanence, the delusion that I'm going to live forever, that is fostered by society in so many ways, through the hiding of death, through the attachment to possessions and to money, which seemingly lasts forever, like the dissolving of all of that, it liberates our energy, it liberates our souls, and brings us into a kind of power that is impossible when we're on the guard of the discrete separate self. So witnessing that process gave me also an understanding more of what it is to become an elder too, because even though you're not fully going through the death process, we get, as we go through life, more and more premonitions, more and more previews and tastes of that death process that start this alchemical process in motion already, that disabuse us of the idea that we can live forever. So one of the, you asked me, what is an elder? And maybe I would add to what I said, the chief symptom of an elder, the chief marking that somebody is in the elder role, it's that they have no personal ambition. And it's not, again, it's not like turning on a light switch and all of a sudden you have no personal ambition, but the more you understand that you're going to die, the less ambition that you have. Even the ambition to create a legacy that is associated with yourself, because you know you can't take anything with you. This was, at the beginning, one of the people invoked their mother, their grandmother, giving is receiving. If you know you cannot keep any of the things that you have, then the only safe repository for those things is the world. It's to give them out until there's nothing left to give. And it's not an act of sacrifices. It's simply coming from the recognition that I can't take it with me. So the only way for it to be permanent, for it to stay in the world, and for me to stay in the world, and for the elixir of my life to pour into the world, is through what I give. And so the elder is fully in a state, I mean, to the extent that one of us is an elder, we are in that state of generosity. And yeah, whereas a young person is rightly full of ambition, because they're in, what am I going to make of my life? And what am I going to create? And what space am I going to occupy here? And the ambition could be, could take many directions, but it's an energy of youth that gives way to, you could even say it's the expansion of the ambition to the point where it isn't even ambition anymore, where it's not about me anymore. So yeah,
Thank you for that. And that brings in our culture that we live in here in America, where we see many people worshiping their possessions, their material goods. How can we transition from that place to the place you're speaking of?
Well, I mean, one thing that would help would be to have elders who can hold the reality that these goods are not what we really want and need in life. I mean, that's one thing that makes an elder is failure and defeat and disappointment, and the smashing of the ambitions, the realization, the bitter realization that what I have pursued and what I thought I wanted is not actually what I wanted and wasn't actually why I'm here. There are some bitter medicines that we take in through life's disappointments and failures. So if we are able as mature people and then as elders to transmit this knowledge to others, then they can maybe not spend so many years pursuing what they don't actually want and need. And their youthful energy of ambition can turn to more productive, more socially productive directions. Because really what the ambition is, what it wants to be, is to fully express my gifts in service to what is most beautiful to me, to be a full member of the tribe, to be in my excellence, to be in to the full glory of my expression, my creativity. That's what the ambition really wants to go toward. And our society, as you were saying, it diverts that toward things that build up the security of the separate self. So to recognize, so it's not about naming that acquisitiveness or that attachment to material goods or to money or to status, reputation, et cetera, et cetera. It's not about naming those as bad and trying to suppress those, but it's about uncovering the actual desire that drives that energy that then gets diverted. Like, what do you really want? And so as an elder, you can give a non-theoretical answer to that question. As a young person, as a philosopher, you might say, yes, it's not about material things. Those are all impermanent, et cetera, et cetera. But do you really know that? Do you really know that until you've had it? And now in your last years or months or days, you realize how useless it is, how ephemeral it is, how unnourishing it is. That knowledge in our current time usually comes with age. Or maybe if you have a close brush with death, that knowledge is awakened. And it's not always that you come to that knowledge and you have it permanently, but as we get older, it tends to visit us with greater and greater frequency and soak in to our cells so that we actually become walking carriers of that knowledge that we can then, as I was saying, that we can then feed and transmit to younger people to help them ride their ambition in a direction that is actually going to serve their joy and the well-being of all.
We have a question in the chat that addresses that, which is, how do we get away from the stigma that is applied to elder in our society and get to a point where it's embraced? That's
yeah. I remember one embarrassing incident where I was, giving some kind of event, and a woman who was like in her late 80s came up to the table and said she was coming. And I'm like, oh, I'm so grateful that we're going to be blessed by an elder. And she took it as an insult, not because she was ashamed of being old, but because she associated the word elder with elder care facility, this kind of, patronizing term, where I had meant it as a term of respect. But the fact that any word for old person could be an insult is symptomatic of what you're talking about, or what this question is about. So, to answer that, I mean, we could talk about why it is that our culture fetishizes youth. We could talk about the breakdown of community, the outsourcing of the functions that older people once served to paid service providers. Like childcare, you know, in traditional societies, a lot of the childcare is done by grandparents. It's a function of an extended family, grandparents and unmarried aunts and uncles and, you know, older cousins and et cetera. I mean, you have a big network that helps raise the children. Whereas when you're locked into a single family box, then, you know, either you can afford babysitters and nannies or something like that, or you ship them off to daycare. And so like one by one, the functions that old people served to the gifts that they were able to give have been stripped away. This is the process of capitalism. I mean, this is not a trivial thing that we could just maybe shift our attitudes and respect elders now, and in imitation of an indigenous society. But there's a very good reason why things have come to the situation that they're at. And really the answer to the question is, I have no idea. I don't know how we can heal this situation, but I know that it's a very good question. And another aspect of it though, like why do we not value elders as a society? I don't want to use the terminology of blame, but some of the responsibility probably rests in the elders too. If you are not occupying that place of generosity, if you're still holding on to the fortress of the separate self and looking after me and a small realm first, and not molting out of that skin into a larger one, and a larger one where your love extends to a bigger and bigger family and out beyond the family into the whole world, then you don't actually deserve the respect that is given to an elder. There's people naturally respect true elders because their knowledge, the knowledge that they carry, is magnetically resonant to the questions that young people carry, the longing that they carry. We young people, and even up through my age too, mature people, we actually need that function in our lives. We crave it. And if we are not finding it, partly that's because we don't know what to look for. And partly because the old people in our sphere may not have really taken in those initiations or stepped into elderhood. And it's not like to blame them either, because it's this cultural context that is constantly encouraging you, well, you know, play it safe, get your insurance. It's not even just like psychological or advertising encouragement, but it's the economic structure that we have. Like we don't have an economic system that even allows you to let go. In a traditional society, you have no fear that when you become 60 or 70 and can no longer hunt and no longer gather and no longer do X, Y, and Z, that you're then going to starve. People will take care of you. You've spent your whole life honoring and taking care of the old people who can no longer do that kind of productive labor. And you know that you'll be taken care of too. We don't have that. What we have is if you don't save up enough for yourself and hold on to it, then you're screwed. So this question basically, it touches on everything about our economy and our society right now. It's not like one isolatable problem, but it is one of the doorways to a holistic systems change that I think we all can sense. You know, we all can sense that the transition that is upon us, that we are seeking, that we want to choose, is all encompassing. It includes every aspect of our society and every aspect of ourselves that participates in that society. That's the excitement, and that's the almost, I don't know if you guys have this, but in our current times when it looks like the world is falling apart, in addition to the dread the fear, the sadness. There's also a sense of, at least in me and a lot of people, a sense of, this is good. Let's bring it on. A sense of excitement, a sense of new possibilities, a sense of a potential liberation from a world in which we had been trapped. This desire for a liberation from a world in which we've been trapped is part of the desire to become an elder and not to be trapped in this extended youth and self-serving, self-protecting state. So yeah, I'll leave it at that for the moment.
Thanks. So you mentioned a couple of the rites of passage into elderhood. I certainly have experienced that myself with the death of my parents and becoming the eldest or the most senior person in my family to hold that responsibility. And you've just touched on the child rearing aspect and the times that we're in now. I know of many elders that are now engaged in caring for their children, as was done in days past. My daughters, that they now have a sister living with them, and I'm getting to do that. So how can we encourage, how can we bring more of this into our world today? How can we create more community where elders are respected? And when I say elders, you know, that's really tricky, because when people hear the word, the connotation is going to be different in different people's minds of what do you mean by an elder? I know that when I've heard that indigenous tribes, we honor those elders, even in our culture. But what would it take in our culture to find elders that we can look up to and that are respected, and that others will respect, that will reflect on our culture of respecting those that are more experienced?
Yeah. So you had a few questions in there. I mean, I think I kind of answered the one about what would it take to have elders that we respect. For one thing, we have to have communities in which the elder function can operate. And secondly, we have to have elders who have fully taken in the truth of mortality and are living from that place. But, you know, a lot of it also, it's not like we were dumb and bad and abandoned community. I mean, this is our current isolation and separation and atomization is the result of trends that go back for centuries. It's related to technology. I mean, you look at the effect of the automobile on society. And so people didn't need to live so near each other anymore, or the general homogenization of the economy, which allows you to very easily pick up and move to San Diego, you know, or Vancouver or Florida. And, you know, there you have your family, you know, and your parents are in Boston, and you fly a couple times a year to visit. And I mean, we could talk about the like zoning laws and the single family home, which reifies or it's one of the physical aspects of this cultural and economic trend. It's not so easy to undo it right away, but one thing that we can do is to validate this function. Like even something as simple as, yeah, it's actually okay to be grown with a family and live with your parents. And for the parents, it's okay to live with your kids. I know a lot of people who are like, I don't want to be a burden on my children. So and there's even shame around living with your kids, because then everyone's going to think that you're being a burden on your children. You're supposed to be independent, and like we got to let go of that and to celebrate the extended family and the roles that the grandparents play in an extended family. And we need to, so that's part of it, like just our attitudes and narratives are part of it. Like the narrative about what does it mean for you to live, you know, with your parents or with your children, your grown children. So narratives are part of it, but then there's also the social and economic dimension of it. like in a lot of places around here, like if I wanted to build an extra house on the property or 2 or 3 extra houses, like zoning ordinances wouldn't allow me to do that. Like the whole thing is set up for a certain vision of how to live life. So there's steps to be taken on that level. And then, I mean, a lot of it also is to relocalize the economy and to undo some of what had seemed like progress, which is that which has resulted in you sit in front of your computer and order things from all around the world that then show up at your door, not creating any ties with anybody around you. So to bring economy back into sociality, which isn't to say that we have, that we locally produce our own microchips or something like that, but there's a lot of things that we need and want and use that can and should be produced locally, and that would enrich our lives and weave community together more. Anyway, I mean, I could go on and on, but I think you get my point, which is that this question branches out into every aspect of our society.
Yes, thank you. I'm just going through the chat here, and there's some questions that want to know, and some people that want to know a little bit about you having been through MKP and the Mankind Project, being a member, and that there are thousands of elders that are in the, or let's say men over 50, 55, in the Elder Society and MKP. What is it that, any suggestions? And what have you gotten? What do you see that's been beneficial from MKP? I do know you did a podcast. You did an event with Boyce Hodgkin, the communications director of MKP, years ago, and about the new masculinity. And I'm just wondering what you can say about that today.
Well, I found I did the weekend. What was it called? Warrior Weekend. I did that.
Warrior Training Adventure.
Yeah, the New Warrior Training Adventure. I think must have been in 2007 or something. I thought it was a valuable experience, but it wasn't something recognized by a community that I was embedded in as a meaningful experience. I kind of went away, did this thing, came back. The people around me in my world had no category for this kind of thing. So again, like not just elderhood, but initiation is also a social function to a large extent. At least certain kinds of initiation are a social function. They change not only how you see yourself, but how the community sees you and how you see the community seeing you. So that was not, and this isn't a fault with MKP. I mean, this is just the situation that we're in right now. In the Warrior Training, the Warrior Adventure, I did appreciate the knowledge and generosity of some of those that I would call elders, who were masters at administering some of the experiences that we went through. And their mastery came because they had gotten out of the way. They weren't in it for themselves. They were fully in service. And that's another way to put an elder as somebody who has learned to, in more and more dimensions of life, to be fully in service. Like I'm just thinking of, my mother with her grandchildren, like totally there for her grandchildren, not, like when I'm with little kids, I mean, part of me is like, okay, I want to, I've got work to do. I've got something else to do. I want to check my phone, like it's really hard for me in the fullness of my busyness and this stage of my life to be really, really fully present and to give all to that moment with a child. I mean, I can do it, and I do it sometimes. I don't think I'm like a terrible, neglectful parent, but my mother was like 100% present for the children hour after hour after hour. I can't remember how I got on that. Oh yeah, the warrior adventure. Yeah.
Well, not so much about the training itself, but how this organization can move society forward. We have a very incredible group of men and women within these two organizations. And yet there is a question of how can we utilize this connection that we have, this brotherhood and sisterhood, to impact society in a positive way. Tough guy.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm really qualified to even guess at the answer to that. That would, maybe I would have something to say if we were in a longer conversation. But maybe maybe I can get some intuitive thing if you give me a minute. That's the thing about these this format, you know, like if I'm making a speech, I don't get this kind of question. If we're having a conversation, then a minute or two pause would be totally normal and acceptable. And here we have a couple hundred people. Like, do you guys want to watch me think? But let me just maybe half a minute.
That could percolate a little bit, and I'll ask you a question from chat, which is, I wonder what ideas you might have for restructurings that would incentivize the creation of structures that honor and include space for elders, that moves us in the direction of honoring eldering.
Yeah, that would be to create situations where elders have the opportunity to give the gifts that youngers actually need. So to do that might require some kind of preparatory process for the elders to enter into that situation where they are with other elders in a really intentional container that, yeah, we are here to touch in to the part of ourselves that knows we're going to die and we can't take anything with us except what we have left behind, paradoxically, except what we have truly given to another and it is alive in them. That is what we take in a paradoxical way. Like, imagine yourself on your deathbed. What is still yours? What feels solid? What feels real in that moment? It is what you have given to those you love and what have you given to the world. If you do that little meditation, you'll see that what I'm saying is true. So you create a container where that knowledge is reinforced in the gathering of elders. That's what a gathering of elders is for. It's to ground into that truth, to remind each other of that truth, to sink into that truth so strongly that then when you go into interactions with youngers, you stay firmly in that knowledge of your mortality and the state of gift that comes with it and the state of availability that comes with it. And then the encounter with the younger people will be very fruitful. So I'm not sure exactly what structure you would use for that.
How about the community that you are working with, NAAS and the New Age Story?
That like just started yesterday. I don't know.
Well,
I
maybe you
wouldn't
could
call that a
speak
community
little-
yet. That's an online experiment.
But speak about your vision for that.
It's a community based on reverence. It came from just watching the breakdown of online communication, the polarization, the incivility, the divisiveness, and thinking we can do better than that. So what would it be to have a community where the guideline for communication is reverence, the knowledge that the attention into which you are speaking is sacred. So how do we, beyond initial politeness, can we actually hold that possibility when these divisive issues come up, when people get triggered? Can we hold anger, for example, without diverting it onto hate? Can we hold compassion without diverting it onto pity? Can we hold grief without diverting it onto despair? Those are some of the motivating questions that have launched this experiment.
And how do you see it evolving?
I don't know how it's going to evolve. I guess I see it evolving through becoming stronger and stronger through multiple challenges. Here's something that might be interesting as far as MKP and Women Within. I got this idea from my friend Al-Noor Lada, who was one of the founders of therules.org. And one of the things that they did that I thought was really amazing is they built in an expiration date to their organization. They said I can't remember the time period, I think it was 15 years. But they said in 2020 or 2019, we will dissolve the organization. And so they had a collective recognition of the mortality of their organization built into it. Whereas a lot of organizations, it's all about how do we hand it off to the next generation? How do we transition beyond the founder? How do we, bring in more young people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not saying that should not be done. I'm not saying that organizations shouldn't persist over many generations, et cetera. But to put also on the table, maybe it's time for our organization to go through a conscious death process. What happened with therules.org is that it kept them very creative and flexible right up to the end, because they weren't so invested in preserving the organization. And all of you are old enough to have seen organizations take on a life of their own and become more and more about themselves and less about the purpose for which the organization was founded. So maybe I would bring that in and I'm not saying, okay, dissolve your organization in 5 years or anything like that, but to take the non-attachment to youth and to vitality and to growth and apply that to organizations too. We're going to have to do that as a species if we want to have a beautiful planet to live on. We're going to have to let go. I mean, this fetish for youth that we've referred to takes a form. One form it takes is the obsession with economic growth and the idea that the contour of human evolution is toward more and more production, more and more efficiency, more and more consumption, more and more stuff, expanding the realm of the human, of the controlled, of the designed, of the organized, and reducing the realm of the wild that is outside of the human. I mean, even the ambition of science bears some of this conquest of the mystery, the bringing of all of the world into the realm of measurement and number. This is a very deep taproot of civilization. And perhaps as our species, our civilization by no means is anywhere near elderhood. We're more at adolescence. But perhaps those elements of our society that are in elderhood, individuals and also organizations, can provide that elder guiding function that I talked about earlier, which is to help us devote the youthful ambition of the human species, because we are still a youthful species, to devote that towards something else than our preservation and growth and domination. That's the perversion of ambition in our current civilization, for those of us in the civilization, but it's also the perversion of the civilization itself. Because really what our civilization wants to do is the same thing that we as individuals want to do. It's to be of service to life and beauty in this universe, on this planet. So perhaps to start looking at other possibilities besides grow the organization, preserve the organization, grow the economy, preserve the economy, get bigger and bigger. Like that's what youth is. You get bigger and bigger up until you're, you know, whatever, 18 years old, you get bigger and bigger. Then something else is supposed to happen. Development does not cease, but something else is supposed to happen. And we as a society, on a collective level, we don't recognize that. So to answer that previous question, you know, this is just one possibility. Maybe organizations can start modeling this turning away from the ambition to grow and to stay here and to keep my place. Like maybe the organization as a whole breaks open like an egg and pours out its gifts to the world. And again, like I would not presume to, just as I would not presume to go to a human being and say, ah, old guy, it's about time you passed away, you know, about time you died. I don't know that. And I don't know that for any of your organizations, but I would like to put that on the table. Like the idea of a death or a metamorphosis into something of the next incarnation. Yeah.
I mean, perhaps we're in the midst of that right now in the world today. And the fear that is being generated will be transformed into a new possibility for the world where human beings will be more civil with each other. And perhaps, do you think that being more civil, learning how to be civil and understanding and compassionate online will transfer into human relationships when the human contact will resume again, the close human contact that many of us are missing?
Well, yeah, it is practice for that. That's one of my intentions, is that we develop those muscles of holding peace and respect and reverence when we're massively triggered. Because if we can't do it, you know, in a so-called conscious community, how are we going to expect, you know, Israelis and Palestinians to do it? How are we going to expect, you know, our political leaders to do it? We have to prefigure that possibility in our own realm.
Another question from the chat is, well, let me just read it. Many people find comfort in tradition and want to hold on to these traditions and ways of doing things. Many will fight for these traditions and these traditions as who they are, rather than see that they are something more. Comfort seems to be a big motivator. How do we deal with this?
So I'm not sure if the question means like, how do we deal with this on a social level, or how do we deal with this on a personal level?
Given the questioner, I think on a social level.
Yeah. Okay. I think the clinging to tradition, the tradition is a proxy for something else that is desired, a proxy for something that is lost. And the vain hope is that by preserving the tradition, you're also going to preserve that which is lost, which has been lost. The thing is, though, that traditions arise from a social context. And when that social context changes, the tradition no longer makes sense. So perhaps the real yearning is for some aspect of the social context of our society that we used to have, that we no longer have. And I do think that there are many, many beautiful things that are core to human well-being that our society no longer has. So I guess maybe this is a bit of more of a, but we could apply it personally or socially, just to ask, what is really wanted here? What is the tradition a proxy for? And then to use that as the starting point of an inquiry.
Could you speak a little more about the personal aspect? Like the comfort that we crave as humans, how does that get in the way? Does it get in the way?
Well, comfort is not the enemy. We have to understand that what starts out being comfortable becomes uncomfortable and eventually intolerable as we have grown within the bounds of that particular comfort. So perhaps some of these traditions that people adhere to become a false comfort. I could, you know, if I'm not sure exactly what traditions are being referred to here, but I guess one thing that a tradition can do is they can reassure you that everything is as it was, that nothing has changed, even when something really has changed, and when, you know, you're no longer comfortable in your comforts, in the life that you have constructed. And what do you do then? Either you cling all the more tightly to it, or you let go. And I'm not even going to say that clinging all the more tightly to it is wrong either. You know, you witness somebody in a dying process. That's part of the process too. You cling all the more tightly to life and to the way life was, and the relationships as they were. Like, that's what I see of the human experience. You know, that we're, in our culture, we're trying to find the wrong thing, trying to find something wrong. And it could be our attachment to tradition. It could be our desire for comfort. And there's truth in those insights. But there's also, I would also just put a note of caution into the general orientation of find the wrong thing and change it.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes left. We have a couple more questions here in chat, and if anybody has any, please do that. But this question is, please give a few examples of the lost that we might want to reclaim or recover.
Yeah. The general title for the loss that we want to recover is connection. To walk outside your house and know the story of every face that you see. To know the stories of the grandparents, of the people that you interact with. To know the names of all of the trees and plants that you see outside, and to be in relationship to those. To know who lives in those trees, where they grow, what their life cycle is, like, and to be related through food and medicine and construction to the beings around us, to be embedded in the world, to understand ourselves as relationship, to know ourselves as relationship, to experience ourselves as relationship, to produce with others the things that make life beautiful, to sing our own songs again, to create our own dramas, to be connected with this, in common stories, to create meaning together.
I think you kind of answered this next. It's on this next question was, do you feel that a new evolutionary energy is coming to the planet, and how can we align with it to build a better world? think that's what you were just speaking to, but perhaps elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yeah. I do think that you could say that a new evolutionary energy is coming, that collectively we are going through a coming of age ordeal, that it no longer works for us to inhabit the youth and growth state of being of a child. And that it's not only that we've exhausted the possibilities of that state, and no longer and it's not only that the benefits of our new inventions are outweighed by the problems that they cause. That's all true. There are also beings outside of the human that are allies with us in administering this coming of age ordeal. Like and this maybe is even, what can we do about it? There are certain transitions in our existence that happen to us, whether or not we make them about what we did in that transition. Like a baby is born, and I don't know, maybe the baby comes out and it's like, yeah, I did that, not realizing that it's actually the mom who did most of the work. And it's not, the baby does some of the work, that it's easier to give birth to a baby than to a stillborn. So the struggles of the baby are part of the birth process. However, to maybe we can not exclusively look at this question in terms of what can we do to make this happen, but to actually enter into what I was just referring to, the knowledge of our alliance, of the knowledge of the presence of other than human and greater than human beings. And these could be forces of nature, they could be the planet, they could be the cosmos, which is beaming in new agey energies, I mean, I'm not like so fluent in that language, but I think that there's something to it. And the being of society, the being of the social forces that surround us, knowing that, and the being of the future. This is what I invoke when I say the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. That we are standing at a crossroads toward and a moment of choice. Which future are we going to move toward? Which road are we going to walk? And how do we know? Like we have this intuition that a more beautiful world is possible. We know it exists. We've seen it at peak moments of life, in special interactions. Maybe in the MKP adventure, you have an experience that there's something beyond what we've been told is normal and real and possible. Like we have these glimpses that remind us of the reality of this potential destination. So it's not that we have no choice. Because there are many other futures right now that are beckoning to us that are horrific. So on the one hand, we have a choice. On the other hand, it's not up to us. All we do is the choosing. And as we choose through actions that might seem inconsequential, but they are aligned with the future that we want to live in. As we make those actions, as we, for example, exercise the gift function of elderhood, we're making a declaration of service to that particular future and take a step down that road. And as we do that, the next step reveals itself and the next step reveals itself. So I don't think any of us know the path in advance that's going to take us from here to there, but we can learn to recognize the next step. And that another way to put that is to accept the aid of these beyond human allies, and including the intelligence of the world and the intelligence of this future, that when we participate in it, coordinates our steps so that we all move there together. Like it's a state of trust. It's a state of, and this is related to the wisdom of the elder. Part of it is, it's not all up to me. Life is bigger than I am. And maybe that is the most important knowledge that you can bring to the world as elders.
Thank you. Our time is winding down. A few minutes and a couple more questions that I have here on chat. One is when you were speaking about the birth of a child, that used to be something that was really important to the tribe in cultures. And now maybe that's not so much the case. It's just really the parents and the related family. So talk a little bit about tribe and the importance of tribe in perhaps the evolution that we're going to. And the other question, I don't know if it's related or not, but is one about about agriculture and how agriculture has created some of the situations that we have today, the type of agriculture we have. And I know you've got 2 minutes to answer what might be one of the biggest questions for 2 hours.
Yeah. Tribe, for me, it's another word for community, real community, deep community, all-encompassing community you might call tribe. And it is based on the mutual knowledge within a group of people that we need each other. And as long as we are in a market economy where we don't depend on our neighbors, we don't need each other, at least not for our physical needs. And do we need it? And so to what extent do we need each other even for our social needs? And how can we create or recover our mutual dependency? Part of it is psychological, that we have to stop elevating independence as our highest goal and embrace dependence, interdependence, and I would just say plain old dependence. And we can apply that to agriculture too, where the trend in industrial agriculture has been toward separation from life, treating soil and life as mere resources, and not entering into mutuality, where we understand that what we give to the soil will actually be a gift for us too. This whole thing called civilization started with agriculture, and perhaps the fulcrum of the return will also be agriculture. It's the main way that we relate to this physical world. So yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the gift to this gathering and to Women Within and the Mankind Project. Thank you so much for coming here and having this conversation with us.
Yeah, my pleasure, Jerry.
And hopefully it's the beginning of a new, more beautiful world for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow. That's going to take some time to digest. And fortunately, this has been recorded, so we can listen to it again and we can share it with others. There were some very interesting comments in the chat. We're going to take a break for 15 minutes, refresh yourself, relieve yourself, and come on back in 15 minutes, and we will continue with this gathering. What's going to be coming up in 15 minutes is 2 conversations. There's going to be one conversation that'll be Shar Tosi speaking about what sons want mothers to know. And this is a presentation for both men and women, women and men, and you stay right here in this room. If you would like to join us in our other room, Elliot will be speaking and giving an elder update and you'll learn about what's been happening in the MKP Elder Society. And that link, I'm going to put that in the chat, or perhaps Richard, can you put that in the chat right now while I'm speaking? It is on the slide, but that is not a clickable link. So we'll get that into the chat for you, and see you all back in one of these rooms in 15 minutes. We are going to conclude in those rooms, and then we'll all come back here again tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, we do have the pre-conference events. You'll find those in your emails and on our Facebook page, and we will give that to you later. In order to go to the other room, yes, you'll be logged out of this room and you'll conclude there, but come back to this room tomorrow when we start again. And thank you, Christina. The other room's link is right there. So anybody that wants to go there, just click on there and I will see you there. I'm going to go over there right now and open it up.
Could someone say the difference between the two rooms? Which is which?
Yes, stay here for Shartosi. Click on the alternative room for Elliot Bolin and the MK and the Elder Society. So I'm going to click there because I need to go there and open the room up. I'll be moderating it there.
Thank you.
Great job, Jerry.
Can someone leave it so the chat is still available?
It's available.
It's there. It's available.
Okay, maybe it's my options. Oh, yeah. Ah, there it is. I have to exit full screen. That's what it is. Okay.
Hey, Ruel, it's good to see you, brother.
Yeah, who's that?
It's Jeff Bates, man.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey.
Let's see. Oh, there it is.
Heck, Palin, good to see you.
So,
Yeah. Thank you. Did you get ready to do your writing? Just the far switch.
Right, and that's when I turned off last night, because I figured out which one it was.
Deshauna,
Who that?
it's Phyllis Redmond.
Oh, Phyllis, I was looking for your name. I couldn't find it on the list. I was gonna,
Well, on here it comes up Mama Tree 5. I have to keep changing it.
oh, that's why I didn't see you.
How you doing?
Oh, good, good. I'm trying to get ready for Shabbat, so I'm trying to juggle this and getting ready for Shabbat, but it's wonderful. I'm so impressed. Thank you for your part in helping organize it.
Oh, I didn't do anything but speak a few lines.
Looking forward to hearing Shar again.
Absolutely, always.
Yeah, I miss staffing. I miss you guys, but I still have my e-circle 20 years now, every week.
Yeah, every week?
Yeah, every week. We go every week and very little matriculation, you know, it's unless people move out of town.
We've been going 20 years too, but there's been a lot, people have left, people have come, it's shifting a lot, but we meet every other week.
Uh-huh. But I think the e-circles are like, the e-circles and I-circles, they help solidify, like, you know, everything. It's great. I can't even imagine my life without an e-circle.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
I hope everybody gets to experience that. And maybe there's a way to do an elder e-circle. If there isn't one, I don't know if there is one.
I would love to get some kind of elder energy going in the women's community.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I would.
This is the best group to put it out to.
For sure.
We have a skewed population here.
Anybody have their chat window open right now?
Are we what?
Does anybody have their chat window open right now?
I do.
I do.
What's the last thing or can you test to see if you can send a chat?
Oh, the chat?
Yeah.
No.
It says chat disabled.
I am not.
You.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it does.
Yeah, you can't chat.
It will be turned back on after the next presentation.
Okay, thank you.
Why is it turned off?
At the request of the presenter.
Distracting, I guess.
Yeah.
I believe the intention is so that
So Shoshana and Phyllis, I just wanted to let you know that there is an elder e-group in Houston.
Ooh. Is it on Zoom yet? Would they accept other people besides Houston people?
I'm not sure. I'm not a part of it at this point, but I can certainly point you in the direction of some women that are, if you're interested.
Hold on.
Who is this?
But
It's Rebecca.
Is this Char's Talk room?
I'll put my headset on.
It is.
Okay. For anybody, I was asked if anybody wants to be in Elliot's room, they have to go back to the original check-in site and then come back and then check in there. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Michael.
I
Thanks.
came in the middle of this, but I run a Crone Circle once a month in St. Louis. And then every quarter we have a mixed elder and Crone group as well. So
That
you're
sounds
welcome.
interesting. I've been in several mixed gender groups, but not elder mixed gender groups. Is the other workshop that's going on now, is that MKP talking about their elder activities?
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm not sure how to get back. If I want to go to Bolin, I'm not sure how to do that.
You have to exit here and then go back into Zoom into the original site.
Are you coming up here? Okay. Thank you.
Just click on the link in the chat and you'll see you'll switch rooms.
The link in the chat. Oh, cool. Okay.
Which room is this?
This is Shar.
Sarah's room.
What sons want mothers to know. My sons are elders already. I don't know
If I want to.
does it matter now?
Go to the chat if you want to switch.
I'd love to be, I don't see my chat.
Will always be their mother.
On the bottom, go on the bottom, light up put your cursor below all the pictures and it should light up there, the chat.
Disabled.
Yeah, it is disabled, but but the link's there.
Yeah, there's a link that you can just click on the chat. Or you can just the code.
Where's the link?
Yeah, there's a link that says MKP USA Zoom. Elliot Bolin above it.
Right. So if you go to chat and then you may have to scroll back up a little bit, you'll see it highlighted in blue.
If he just joined, he probably doesn't see any of the chat that was there before he joined.
So
Okay.
why doesn't somebody, we could just say the number and you can write down the number and you can go into Zoom with this number and you'll get in. 954
Who's,
309 18790.
Wow, you said it and my screen just flipped all over the
There you
place.
go.
Just from you saying it? That doesn't make sense.
I think it's a coincidence.
Person who's talking, you know, the
You
main.
have more power than you thought.
Repeat the number for those who need it.
954
It's on the screen.
309 18790. It's
You
right there
have to exit full screen.
on the right side. If you look at the screen share.
All right, I don't want to see all this. Make it go away.
You have no control.
Are we presently, are we
My
unable to
life.
chat? Are we unable to chat right now?
It looks like.
Correct.
No chat. Disabled.
No chat.
You're having
No chat.
a little bit of.
Where'd Frank go?
Okay.
You can talk.
This is Shar Tosi. I requested the chat box off while I present because I found it very disrupting when I was listening to the other speaker, and I really want to speak to your hearts and not to your heads. And I don't want people coming back and forth. So I hope that isn't. I hope to leave time at the end for questions. So please know that there will be time for you to ask. So Richard, am I ready to go? Okay, I'm going to go. So I am Shar Tosi. I am founder of Woman Within, and for 25 years, I have done workshops for men. The first one was Your Mother's Pillow. Some of the men in this room may have done that one. And also recently I have done the Mother's Shadow. There have been probably way over 1,000. I've lost track of the numbers of men who have taken this workshop. And they have taught me so much about what sons want mothers to know. So this presentation will be the men teaching you through what I'm going to tell you is going to be hopefully very healing. My intention and my goal for this workshop is to bring a healing opportunity to mothers and sons, whether your son is grown and old themselves, or if you have young sons, and even for fathers, this would be, there's some material here that I think will pertain to you. So during the workshop, what we asked of the men was to write 2 letters. One was to their mother about what they needed to say to their mother. And the other was a letter from their mother that they really needed to hear from their mother. And so this is where the majority of this workshop comes from, are those letters that they wrote from themselves. They wrote to themselves from the mother they wish they had. It was interesting. Many years ago, I was having lunch with Robert Bly, and I said, I'm writing a book called What Sons Want Mothers to Know. I haven't written the book yet. At that time I was. And he looked at me and he said, nothing, absolutely nothing. And then I laughed and I disagreed with him. He has written the book Iron John, which is about men separating from their mothers. So that is partially what we work on at the workshop. So the data that was collected from the letters, I will be reading actual excerpts from letters. I got permission from all of the men to copy these letters and to use them in presentations or in books. And so it's really from the hearts and the pens of these participants that you get to learn about what sons want mothers to know. So in order for you to get the most value out of this workshop, I invite the men who are here to get up an image of your mother. And I will invite you to imagine that your mother can say the things that I'm going to read to you. The goal of your healing as sons is to realize that you have an internal mother that can now say these things to you. So visualize an image of your mother inside, whose job now is to mother you. And I invite all the mothers in this workshop to visualize your sons if you have sons. If you don't have sons, there may be many things you are mothering, and these may pertain to whatever you're mothering, whether they're pets or nieces, nephews, whatever, that you can apply some of this information to. So get up an image of what it is you're mothering for the women. And I want you to listen to I read some of the letters. Is this something you need to say to your children, to your son? I truly believe that mothers do not go out to really harm or wound their sons. I think mothers come from their own wounds from their past, and their parents may not have been very good role models. A disclaimer for the women who are mothers: as you listen and hear some things that you haven't said or done that you wish you had, know that this is a sample of men and may not apply to you. And if you need to forgive yourself and to make amends with your son, if possible. So I'm going to be doing this with a PowerPoint. So at this point, I'm going to share my screen. So what sons want mothers to know. The first thing I want you to know is that what I have found is all sons really love their mothers. They come to the workshop with trepidation and fear and with issues with their mothers, but at the bottom of their heart, they love their mothers. And this is a letter that a man wrote to his mother. When I mentioned the letters that the men wrote to their mothers, and what he said was, "I feel a lot of love for you, even though you have passed on. I choose to remember you in your best light and for your most magnificent attributes, which are love, devotion, beauty, blessing, encouragement, nurturing, and self-sacrifice. Having brought me into the world is the most beautiful gift a woman can give, and I shall always remember and cherish you." So I invite all of the mothers in this room to just breathe this in, that your sons really do love you, and they need a way to say it sometimes. So I'm going to be presenting this as what sons want physically, and then I'm going to go to emotionally, and then intellectually, and then spiritually last. What sons want physically is to be touched appropriately, to be heard and seen, and to be talked to about their body and sex. So sons want appropriate touch. There's been research done that baby boys do not get as much touch as baby girls. This has been repeated over and over, and they've actually done, put cameras in parents' homes and counted the times that baby girls were touched and baby boys were touched. And it was found that baby boys were touched a lot less. I think that is changing today, but in this sense, that is the research that's happening. So a letter again from a man that wanted to hear from his mother. This is what his mother would say: "If I could go back in time and do it all again, I would tell you every day how much I love you. And I would hug you and tell you what a blessing you are to me." And I invite the men in this room, if you felt like you were not touched enough by your moms, to really take a moment to hear these words, and perhaps even close your eyes as I continue to read some of the letters. One more letter. There were from the mom. "There were some things I wish I had done differently. I wish I had been more physical with you. I wasn't raised with touch, so I wasn't used to it. Anything more than a tiny hug or kiss on the cheek just wasn't comfortable for me. I hope you understand that. And then one more letter, an excerpt. I love touching you, just touching your skin and looking into your eyes. And then there may be some of you, some of the men who felt like they were touched too much. And I want you to look at this. Too much touch is smothering. I want you to look at the word in the middle of smothering. If you take out the word mother, guess what you're left with? Sing. So when you can stop smothering your sons, they're able to sing. And here are some letters that the men wrote from their mother. You are my firstborn. Both your father and I are very proud of you. I'm sorry I held you so tight when I was afraid and lonely, and I didn't hold you when you were afraid and lonely. Another letter. I realize now that I smothered you with affection, protected you like a fragile little bird when I should have pushed you from the nest and let you fly. So go now, son, and fly. I realized that I was constantly showering with you with I love yous, which cheapened them in a way, as well as created a smothering shroud of well-intentioned maternal love. For this barrage of affection, for the maternal overkill, I apologize and ask for your forgiveness. So if there are any of you in the room that felt you were smothered by your mothers, just take in these words from these men. And then there's the issue of inappropriate touch. I was amazed as I did these workshops about how many men had been abused sexually by their mothers. And we define sexual abuse in many different ways, not just by fondling the boy or that kind of thing, but also by the way that mothers dress in front of their sons and don't take into account that, especially when they're coming into adolescence, that their testosterone is very high, and that seeing a mother in a negligee or nude or with a cleavage showing can be very stimulating to men. And even men who have gone through, were raised in nudist camps, said when they hit adolescence, they couldn't stand to be there anymore. And they really had a hard time with that. So this is some of the things that the men wrote that they wanted to hear from their mothers. I want you to know I am sorry for molesting you at such a young age. Even though that happened, I want you to know you are gold. I love you. I regret all the empty stuff I gave you instead of the sweet, blissful words of I love you. Forgive me for making you my trophy. You are my son. I am proud to call you my son. Please forgive me for not letting you live your life. I pray that one day I can forgive myself. You are good enough. And then another letter. I am sorry that I have not connected with you in a more loving way all these years. I've been unfair, and I'm sorry for hurting you so much. I'm sorry to have placed all my burdens, all my needs, including my sexual needs, onto you. I was wrong to abuse you in these ways. And then there's an issue of not enough touch. I really believe that we have a hunger in our skins to be touched. And so I invite all of you in the room to think about, were you touched enough by your mothers growing up? And by your fathers, we'll just throw that in as well. And listen to the words of the men from their letters. As you grew, I didn't have time to give you the hugs I felt you needed. You distanced yourself from me. I loved you so much. I prayed that someday you would find a way to allow me into your heart. I am sorry for abandoning you as an infant. You did not deserve that. You deserve to be nurtured and cared for and loved by me. I never told you this because I was scared and I felt ashamed, not because you weren't good enough to hear it. I love you, and I always loved you. I regret that I didn't know how to show you that I loved you. I believed I needed to demonstrate strength so you would be strong in life. I regret now that I did not hold you and tell you how much I loved you. I would like to nurture you and stroke your hair and touch you and tell you that it is okay and that I really care about you and want to help you. I never hugged you, and now I want to hug you and nurture you and caress you. I feel really sad that I never let you suckle at my breast. You deserve that connection to me. And I know that it has hurt you that I didn't give that to you. You were always a special boy to me. I always loved you, and I always will. So think a minute how much you talk to your son in the past, or if you have a young son, if you've talked to him about his body and his sexuality. The one thing I've realized by doing Woman Within is that many women have been sexually abused by men, and they find it really difficult to talk to their sons about their own bodies, their sons' bodies and their sexuality. But I invite you, if your mother didn't talk to you about your body changing and your sexuality, to take in these words that were written from the men. Let's talk a while so I can help you understand what is happening in your body. Both girls and boys start to become aware of their private parts at your age. When you lie on your belly, it is natural and normal that it feels good. As you get older, you will be having feelings like that when you are near girls, and this is natural too. It is not bad or unnatural that you may even feel that way near me. I am your mother, and I will talk to you about it and help you understand that the feelings are normal. I will also invite your father to help you understand, and in a healthy way, be comfortable with what you feel and teach you ways to enjoy what you feel. You should not feel shame or guilt. As you grow, these feelings might be happening more often, which is normal too. There is nothing for you to worry about, but if these feelings become a problem to you or you aren't liking them, I want you to know it's okay to come and talk to me or your father. Just ask. As a young boy, you will go through puberty, your voice will get deeper, and you will grow pubic hair and start feeling excited about young girls. All that is normal and okay. I know you felt scared and ashamed of sex in your body. I want you to know that sex is healthy and good. It's normal for you to masturbate and fantasize. You have a beautiful body and you deserve to be loved. Remember that boys develop into men at different times. Just because your penis is small now doesn't mean it will always be small. I believe penis size is not as important as sensitivity and skill in lovemaking. My family never talked about or demonstrated sex in any way. Sex is natural, and God loves to see healthy expression of sex. If I could live my life over, I would teach you that sex between loving people is one of the greatest gifts God gave us. Besides my negative religious learning about sex and the fact that no one ever talked about it, your father was a brutal sex partner with no respect for me during sex. Consequently, I also hated sex. I hope that the somewhat healthier attitude towards sex where you are today will allow you to connect the damage of my beliefs and learning and experience did to you. You deserve to enjoy your body. You deserve to be touched and held. You deserve good sex. You deserve to feel powerful and full of life. You deserve to feel energy in your balls and your dick. You need not be ashamed of your erection, your sexual energy, and your feelings. So take a deep breath. And mothers, if you have not said these things to your son, it's never too late to acknowledge that their bodies are beautiful and sex is beautiful. So just take that in, breathe it in. What sons want emotionally. I'm going to go through each one of these with slides. They want to be told what you love about them. They want to say, stop protecting me so much. They want to be told that you're proud of them. And they want to be told it's okay to feel all of their feelings. So tell me what you love about me. Here's the letters from Mom that the men wrote. Don't hide anymore. Come into the light. I want to see you, all of you. I welcome your true feelings. I want you to know, I truly want you to know you don't need to hide from me. I love you unconditionally. I am here for you. Tell me about your life, your fears and your joy. I want to know. I love you for who you are, for what you have done, and not, sorry, I love you for who you are, not for what you have done. I honor your creativity, your sense of fun, your playfulness, your willingness to try new things, your honesty, and your sense of fairness. What I really want for you is to be just the boy you are and to grow into exactly the man you want to be. I can hardly wait to see who you become and how it is for you. I can already see how beautiful you are, how strong, how smart, how wise, how successful you are, and what wonderful power you have. And I can tell you will just go on and be even more wonderful. What I want for you is to be the boy and then the man that is the real you. This is my blessing for you, that you be who you are, and I will always love you. What I loved about you as a child was how gentle you were with animals, how curious you were about the bugs and ants, and how active and athletic you were. You could play any game or sport and make it look easy. You were such a talented child. I knew you could do anything you wanted to do. So those are some of the things that the men wanted to hear from their mothers about what they loved about them. In this picture, this is so typical of mothers. They don't want their boy to hurt or their children to hurt. So she's wrapping him in bubble wrap. And that's what I felt like doing as a mother. I didn't want my son to feel any pain. And yet they don't want to be protected so much. So this is the letter from a mother that a son wrote. I pushed you. I tried to encourage you to stretch and grow. I wanted to prepare you for what I saw as a cold, hard world, and I wanted to toughen you up. I wish I had acknowledged your efforts and your accomplishments. I was in fear that I would not be there to take care of you and protect you, and I was fearful that you would be hurt. I now acknowledge that I stifled you and hurt you. I'm sorry. I did you a disservice. And then there's also the area of appropriate protection. There's no greater warrior than a mother protecting her child. This is the bitch energy. You mess with my kid, you're going to really see my lionness. So some sons did not get enough protection. So for the men in the room, I want you to think about, did you get enough protection from your mother? And listen to these letters. Your grandfather, whom you never met, was a heavy drinker and alcoholic. I always denied his alcoholism. I never spoke of the pain. And my mother, your grandma, used to have it out for you. I remember her chasing you with a broom and whacking you a couple of times. I know she hurt you. I know I know she hurt you emotionally. I know how bad I hurt you because I just stood there and laughed. I didn't protect you. I was afraid of my mom. I know now why you've been afraid of me, afraid I would let you get hurt, and afraid I would laugh at you. And I want to tell you that I really care about you and that you're strong and very masculine. You can do anything you want to do in your life, and it will be okay with me. And I'll love you no matter what. I will stand up for you, and I won't let your dad abuse you or put you down, and I will listen to you and trust you. Tell me you are proud of me. It was universal in almost all of the workshops that the men wanted to hear from their mothers. I am proud of you, my son. So here are a couple of the letters from the moms. I see you. I know you. You are a powerful man. I am proud of who you are, what you do, and how you choose to live. I felt so proud of you when you went to school the first time. You were so brave. You made me feel very proud. You were so smart and gifted. I was so proud of you and how fast you learned and how you got good grades. And if there's any men in the room who fought in the Vietnam War, and maybe who came back and were not honored and received by your mother, I invite you to listen to this letter. I'm sorry I wasn't there to welcome you home from the Vietnam War. Welcome home, son. I'm glad you made it. You survived. You are safe, and I am thankful. I love you. It will be okay now. I am so proud of you. Tell me it's okay to feel my feelings. How many of you might have grown up, or even mothers may have said, don't cry, be a big boy, be like a man. And what the men really wanted to hear are the following. Phrases like, I'm doing this for your own good, or don't be mad at mommy, I love you very much, or don't feel that way, ring pretty empty, as I was asking you to not have your true feelings, to protect me from your feelings. I regret I focused on your physical well-being and ignored the sad, fearful, hurting child I was creating. You need to be heard, and I hear you. The things that you have to say matter to me. You are lovable. You are more than adequate. I know that you feel inadequate and unlovable sometimes, and that's okay. They're just feelings, not facts. When you feel those feelings, know that I see the reality that you are lovable and you are adequate. Another letter, I want you to know it is very okay with me if you feel angry, and for you to let it out by not hurting anyone. And you see my anger too, and know that I won't ever leave you or stop being your mom if you are angry or if I am angry. One more letter. The world makes you sad sometimes. I want to tell you that it's okay. The world is sad sometimes, as well as beautiful. Grief is okay. It is the right reaction to have if it comes. Go ahead and be sad. What sons want intellectually? They want mothers to respect and honor their choices and decisions. They want mothers to teach them how to have fun, teach them about boundaries, teach them about girls and dating. Respect and honor my choices. And the men said from their mothers, you are an extraordinary man. I see your passion, your truth, your genuine concern for this world. I see you. I want to know you. Who are you? Tell me about yourself. I have the time now to hear you. Now I have the time. Another letter. When you told me you were gay, I realized that is why I stopped giving you the love and affection you deserved. You have grown up to be such a fine man, and I am so proud that you are my son, my gay son. Looking back, I realize I should have given you more support. I should have given you the support and encouragement for you to do what you wanted at each point in your life, not just what I wanted you to do. My agenda was really for you to become the doctor or lawyer that I never married. The mistake I made was that rather than accepting your choices, I tried to bend them to what I wanted. Teach me how to have fun. One of the things I enjoyed so much about running the men's workshops were they really noted how to laugh and have fun. I had so much fun with teaching these workshops, and they want their mom to do that too. So if your mom didn't teach you to have fun, take a moment to hear these letters from the mom inside of you. As you were growing up, I was so stuck in my own pain, fear, and woundedness that I wasn't able to be there for you. I want you to know how sad I am for that. If I could do those years over, I would give you many hugs every day. I would look into your eyes and tell you that you are a precious child and that I love you dearly. I would spend more time playing with you, reading to you, and listening to your stories. I would have liked to have played with you more and do the things you like to do. I was happy to see how you loved the beach and the waves. I loved your curiosity, always taking things apart, trying to put them back together. I should have nurtured that part of you. You loved to tinker. Teach me about boundaries. The purpose of setting boundaries and consequences is to create a sense of responsibility, accountability, and self-awareness. The one thing about mothers of sons, as they grow older, you have to change your boundaries with them. Of course, when they were young, you held them, you kissed them goodnight. I know for me, I laid down in the bed with my young sons and rubbed their backs, and that had to change when they started puberty. I could still tell them goodnight, and yet I needed to be more aware of my boundaries because of their sexual development. So here's some letters that the men ask for boundaries from their mothers. The mothers wrote, I regret I gave you no boundaries and did not respect your privacy. I regret I was always finding something wrong with you and used your asthma as an excuse to give you more smothering attention. I regret that I exempted you from responsibilities and instilled in you neediness and dependence. You deserve to have your independence. I own that what I gave you was not real love. It was using you as a drug to deal with my own feelings of shame and insecurity. I will give you lots of affection without invading your boundaries or letting you invade mine. As you become able to express yourself more clearly, I will listen to you and give you what you ask for to the best of my ability. Sometimes I will say, no, I can't give you that. That violates my boundaries. I will be clear with myself and therefore will be clearer with you. As you grow older, I will increase the size of the space provided you so that you can stretch and grow into your own space. Know that no matter what, you can always come to me and ask for what you want and I will give it to you, which is touching, holding, loving, caring, advice, food, as long as it is within my being to do so and does not violate my boundaries. Teach me about girls, women. From the mother. Do not look to me or to other women who will come into your life for your feeling of self-worth and decisions about life choices. Look inside of yourself and learn to trust your own deep care of yourself. Know that women are good and loving and are not out to get you. They will love you well if you let them, but keep your boundaries. I wish I had been able to tell you more about women, their needs, their wants, their strengths, their weaknesses. They really are wonderful creatures, you know, but you must treat them with love, respect, honor, and care. And you must not allow them to treat you any differently. You deserve to be treated with the same love and care, and you deserve to get just as much as you give. You are so loving and giving, and you deserve to be loved the same way. What sons want spiritually? They want their mother's blessing. They want their mother to bless their choice of a partner. They want their mother to bless their manhood and to tell them they are a good father. Sons want to hear from their mother that you've been a blessing from the start. I love you, son, with all my heart. And here's some specific letters from the mother. I want to tell you how proud I am of you. You're a magnificent man. I honor your loving kindness and compassion. I bless your genius, your insight, and ability to synthesize. I accept your goofiness, your shortcomings, and eccentricities. They are really okay. Celebrate your uniqueness. Your imperfections just provide you with new ways to heal the world. You are a gifted creative artist with a mission and a divine blessing of talent to use in a way that only a man with a healthy mother's blessing can. I bless you with the ability you have within you to create abundance and order in your life. Bless my choice of a partner. Know that you will clarify, this is again from the mothers, know that you will clarify your sexuality slowly, gently, lovingly. It doesn't matter if you are gay, bisexual, or heterosexual. These are only names. I love you and accept you just as you are. You're a wonderful, kind, generous, thoughtful, caring human being. I am so proud of you. Being married for 12 years and loving your wife with all your heart is an amazing accomplishment. You are giving so much hope to other people. who think that true love is not possible. I support you in your relationship choices today. You're the one who knows what you want, where you are, and where you are in your life. I will love and respect your choices. Bless my manhood. Men were never too old to want their mother's blessing. So here are some of the letters from the men, from the mothers to the men. You are a bright, thoughtful, strong young man. You are strong and potent. Don't be afraid to show your potency. Emotionally, physically, sexually, I'm not threatened by it. You are a passionate, sensitive man. I express it with men, express it with women. I am not afraid of your passion. I love your wild boy, wild man energy. It doesn't scare me. I love your vibrant, passionate sexual energy. It doesn't disgust me. I accept and embrace all of your emotions, even your anger. You are a beautiful, strong, sexy, compassionate, capable, humorous, delightful, powerful man. I'm running out of time, so I want to keep going. Tell me I'm a good father. So from the mother to the son. I've noticed what a fine father you have been to your daughters. You have been there to support them and show them what potential they have to grow and give. They have received parenting gifts from you that I could not and did not model from you. I know you lived many years alone with the deep wounds my mother caused. I would do anything to undo that. You took good care of yourself. You got out. I am very pleased that the wounds I inflicted are now healing you. You are precious and perfect in every way. It was my failure that you couldn't know that as a child. I bless you for becoming such a wonderful, beautiful father and man. I've always loved you for what you have always been. My love and blessings, Mom. Relationships with your father. It's important that you don't make your son your surrogate husband. Realize how talking about your father affects them. Work on your relationship with your husband instead of clinging to your son. And this is a point in when boys become adolescents, it's really important for the father to take more role in the parenting. And from the son's viewpoint, don't make me your surrogate husband. Here's a letter from Mom. Although the animosity between you and your father made it almost impossible, I regret not putting a healthy separation between us as you approached adolescence. I know that our continued physical intimacy, trading massages especially, although never sexually explicit, must have been stimulating to you in ways that were unhealthy for a young man with his mother. I want you to know that I realize I've hurt you and that I used you to meet my needs in the name of loving you. And I constantly violated your boundaries, and I will say no more. Focus on your relationship with my father. A letter from mother to the son. I understand your anger of being smothered. It has been a heavy weight on your back. I was just trying to take good care of you. I now see that I should have worked on my relationship with your dad instead of clinging to you to fill this void. And there may be some men in this room whose mother died when they were young. And a lot of the men that I worked with, their mother was in such grief they couldn't take care of their son. So here are some of the things that they wanted to hear in this case. If your father died, this is what they wanted to hear from their mother. I'm sorry I could not comfort you when your dad died. It was not your fault he died. Being 6 years old and having your father die must have been devastating to you. I'm so sorry I could not help you with your grief and pain. I'll tell you everything about your father, how much he loved you and your sister, how much he was proud of you. We all miss him very much. I'll do everything in my power to create a happy nest for you so that you can grow up happy and joyful, powerful, loving, and beloved as you deserve. Sons also want some things from their mother. They want their mothers to love themselves and take responsibility for their actions. They want their mothers to admit their mistakes and ask for their forgiveness. They want their mother to tell them that they can take care of themselves and to let them go. One of the biggest things that the men wanted in the workshop and they learned was they wanted to hear from their mother, I can take care of myself. I don't need you to take care of me. And because I'm running out of time, I'm going to just go through the rest of the slides. They want the mothers to love themselves and take responsibility for their actions. They want their mothers to admit their mistakes and ask for forgiveness. And as I said, they want their mother to take care of their body. It's a place you have to live. Fall in love with caring for yourself in body, mind, and spirit. And they want their mothers to let them go with love. It doesn't take a lot of strength to hang on. It takes a lot of strength to let go. And I know as a mother of 2 sons, which I didn't say in the beginning, my sons are now 50 and 45, and I still have to work to let them go. And so that's very normal for a mother to do. And in closing, moms want their son's blessing. So a man wrote this blessing for his mom that I want all of you moms to take this in, as this is really what the sons want to give you. I thank you for your fierceness. I thank you for your loyalty. I thank you for all the prayers you have said, you do say, and will say. I welcome those prayers with an open heart. I thank you for the coyote spirit that's alive in me. I thank you for my life. I thank you for fairness, equality. I thank you for loving my partner. I thank you for falling in love with my dad. I thank you for the times that you fought for me. And finally, I bless you and wish you healing. I now relinquish the need to love you painfully and welcome the opportunity to love you joyously. I love you, Mom, your son. So with that, I don't have much time left, but I'll stop the share. If anyone has any questions, I don't know, Richard, if you can turn the chat box on or let them raise their hand or whatever.
Erwin Aloff, Shar. Erwin Aloff from Chicago. It was really very wonderful and very emotional and very touching. And I want to thank you very much for taking such good care of Rich.
Thank you. Thank you. So if anyone else has a comment or a question, and I just want to say to the mothers in the room, it's not too late to write your children letters. After I learned all these things, I wrote my sons both a letter. You probably need to do it more often, but it really isn't too late.
Sure, I have a question.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like the art form is how to get to cutting that umbilical cord with your son. You know, for me, that's almost, there's this, when you show the picture of the lioness with the cub, and then to really, really from the deepest bottom of your heart, because I guess it's a big grief.
Yes.
Maybe we should face our grief, that phase is over, that they can go out in the world and that they are, you know?
Yep. Yeah. And it starts when they're born, actually. I can remember the first day my oldest son went to school, I cried. When he graduated from high school, I went away to a cabin by myself so I could grieve. And I'm still work to let go. And so it is a process, and it is a constant process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, should there not be a cutoff age? Like, I think when the boys are 26, the brain is developed.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel I really have to let go before that, you know, around that time, because then otherwise that cord is still pulling on them and cannot be who they are. But I don't. So I have a little mantra, and you know, and your suggestions in with the lectures I have from you are very helpful to at least project it there, you know, to give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it needs to be kind of a cutoff age.
Actually, Actually, in primitive societies, the men came to the house and tore the son away from his mother when he was like, when he hit puberty. And that's, according to Aaron John and Robert Bly, that's when the boy needs to leave the mother, and they need to focus more on the father and on the men in their lives. And that's so painful. I want to acknowledge it is extremely painful to do. So it's just, it's a daily mantra.
Hey, Shar, and that is hard because I think the father of my child, he kept playing with him, not like being an adult. So we have that dynamic in a relation, right? How can the father be really the father for the boys?
Yeah, well, that's what we hope for, is people, men in the Mankind Project learn how to be a father of the boy. And I see Corey's hand, and there's too many screens. I can't see if anyone's.
Corey, hi, Char. Our son is great, 37. I think he's developed a lot of the things you said. I certainly, God knows, was his advocate. Wanted him to be who he was, and he is. It's possible that because Michael and I are such therapy people and mankind people and women within people, that he's not from the big talkers. He does hold things close to his chest. And I don't force it, but I would love him to be more accessible. And he is who he is. I'm just putting that out there in this context.
Yeah. And you can always ask for what you want, and he may not give it to you.
The little stinker.
Right. And to bless him that that's his choice. It's
Thank
you want
you for that.
to be
Yes, I will do. I'm writing that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So this was a really powerful presentation, because none of the things that you mentioned that I get from my mother, and it's all what I had to learn on my own. And that was a painful journey.
Yes. Yes, and know that you have a mother inside of you that can give you all these things that I just read. That sometimes you have to go to your inner mother to get what you need.
Which I did, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I believe I'm out of time. So thank you so much for your willingness to turn off the chat box. I realized that was not going to work for me. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shar. Everything.
Shar.
Nice.
Thanks, Shaw.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Take care.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you. That was beautiful.
Thanks, Shar.
Thank you very much.
Do we have to push any buttons to get back to the main room?
No,
or-
you're in the main room. You just stay here. Is
Okay.
that right, Richard?
Yes, that's correct.
Correct. This is the main room.
I think for a point of learning for this, it's a beautiful presentation, Shar, but there's so many feelings that stirred up in me that it would be nice to have had a breakout room where we could have actually connected, so for future.
I would have loved that. It was very frustrating for me to try to figure out how to do this without some dialogue. And so, yeah, thank you.
Yep.
We're going to say good night from the UK.
Oh, good night, UK.
Simon, nice seeing you, Simon.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Hi, Char. Hey, Char. I have a question because I am a mother, and unfortunately, I did not get to raise my children. And so I'm imagining that they have a lot of pain around that. Is Char here, or are we being joined by another room?
I think she's on mute.
I think she might have stepped away from her computer.
That's too bad, because this is like a burning thing in me, and to hear all of those suggestions, like I'll write a letter, but it's going to be a super long letter.
There's Char. Char's back.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. I thought everybody had left.
No, Char, My name is Joni, and I will need to connect with you maybe offline about this. I am
Sure.
in your online course,
Oh,
and
okay.
I was saying, everybody heard I did not raise my children, and there's a lot of pain for that for me, but having let go of that, and the pain for them is now showing up. They're, you know, the youngest is going to be 30 and the other is 32, 33. And so it's really big to have this experience right now and hear all those things that you said.
Yes, I bet. And as the men said, they just want for women to own, their mothers to own their quote unquote mistakes, because we made a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes with my sons, and to ask for forgiveness, forgive me for. And that is an incredible healing experience. So, and the letters don't have to be long. In fact, I don't think the sons like long letters. But, but it can be very poignant when it comes from your heart, and your intention is to heal.
Thank you, Shar. Yeah, and there is a sense of forgiveness for myself that's already happened. Someone just asked that.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of work, but to be present with them and still not feel the guilt and the shame of having been carved out and not being able to provide them all the things that they needed in that phase that you talked about, so puberty. And that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
To be there for them, and then let my husband take the latter years, which would have been perfect, but there was no way he was going to be that way. So I thank you so much.
You're so welcome, and know that the gifts of the wounds that you give them are their healing stretch.
Yes, ma'am. I wrote that one down. Thank you. Thank you.
I think Jerry's back to close this out for the day. Thank you so much, Shar.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Jerry, you're muted.
Who muted me? Okay. Thank you all for attending. Remember, we've got 2 pre-gathering meetings tomorrow, and then we'll reconvene at the same time tomorrow as today. We've got Dr. Arlene Allen, who will be doing our keynote, and then some wonderful workshops afterwards that are on the screen. Check your emails, Facebook, and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.
Jerry?
Great day. Thank you.
Jerry, it
Yeah?
said it was recorded. I'd like to see this again. How would I see the recording?
All that information will be sent to you via email.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bye,
Jerry?
everyone. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Jerry?
Yes.
Louis Daniels here in Colorado. I never received an email from you. I have to get one from someone else, but I did register.
Okay, I'll check that for you.
Louis Daniels in Colorado. Thank you, Jerry.
Mhm. You're welcome.
Thanks, Jerry.
See you tomorrow. See you all
Bye,
tomorrow.
everyone.
Bye.
Good job, Jerry.
Thanks.
Hey, Rebecca, can you hear me?
Hi, Joni.
Thank
Rebecca.
you.
Yes, I can hear you. Is that Frank?
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah. Would you send me the link? I didn't register, so I didn't get the emails.
Sure, I'll do it.
Thank you. Good to see you here.
You too.
So Frank Berkeley.
Yeah, I'm here.
Tom Paliasodi here.
Hey,
Disappointed that we couldn't get the talent show together.
I know we only had 3 submissions at the deadline and that wasn't enough, but yours was one of the best, man. Yours was amazing.
Wait a minute.
All right.
Yours was too, Jeff. Yours is amazing. You're all amazing.
I'm just joking with you.
So yeah, was Jeff one of the other 3?
I was.
What is
He came in after the deadline, but it was good.
Yeah.
I came in after the deadline.
Yeah.
What was your submission?
I sent it on Monday. You said it had to be by Friday. So well, whatever. You didn't get it till then. But by the way, it's all right.
So what was it?
what was it? It was my, it was a 3-minute rendition of my new children's book that I just published.
Mhm.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Can you do it now?
And
Can we do it now?
Yeah, you share it in this impromptu, no talent.
I'd be glad to if any, I don't know if we can, we can probably jump over my Zoom. I've got a Zoom. I don't know if I can share content here or not. I'd have to get it all set up.
Okay.
Yes, hello, Frank. How are you? This is Peter Sullivan.
Hey, Peter Sullivan, there's a face I haven't seen since Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, it has been a while, but I really appreciate your expertise in taking good pictures.
Thank you. I've been taking pictures of this all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.